Warning. It is the opinion of the 4th Street Productions LLC and the Working Perspectives podcast that we should inform you that some of the language used in this recording could possibly be considered offensive. You have been warned, so if you decide to listen to the recording, then don't complain about the language.
I'm watching at night. I see them dropping needles and shit into people's, so like they're that crooked.
Damn.
And so, and they would tell you like, listen, there's no run down tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you hear everybody fussing.
Yeah.
He said, I shower with boots on for a year.
Yeah.
Because that's when they get you they get you in the shower. Barefoot, wet, you're done.
Yeah.
It melted his skin down and it was hanging here, and his shoulder, his collarbone was sticking out. I mean, you have the worst of the worst in the world in prison.
Yeah.
But you also have guys that, like you said, have all this talent, just did it the wrong way.
Like the fact that like seeing someone get raped isn't number one.
Yeah, no, that was probably number 4.
Oh!
Listen, and it was disgusting. The dude was screaming.
Yeah.
But when you see somebody's face get melted off,
that's number one.
Yeah. And the eyeball popping down the steps is pretty disgusting.
And the weight.
Oh.
My bad, bro.
Nope.
All right, here we go. All right. Maybe I'll leave that in. Coming back in.
Just a mess up.
Yeah. All right, everyone. This is the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, coming to you today by the one and only Devin Reilly. He's the owner of Flipping Keys Real Estate, right? Flipping Keys LLC.
Chat investments.
Nice.
Nice. A couple different LLCs.
Perfect. And his Instagram is @DReilly32. We're gonna have links to all that stuff in the description of this episode. I'm telling you, this guy, I heard about him on another show. Shout it out, Locked In with Ian Bick. Incredible episode, available now on all podcast platforms and YouTube @Locked In with Ian Bick. Awesome show. Introduced me to this guy, reached out to him on Instagram, connected, and he met up and is on the show. And dude, I'll tell you, I hate social media, but sometimes it comes in clutch when these kind of things. So Devin, thanks so much for being here, man. How are you?
Very well, very well.
It's our objective to be effective by voicing societies, working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid, launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live, then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. Working perspectives.
Nice. So I want to get into it right away. So grew up in Millville, right? New Jersey.
Yep, little city in South Jersey.
Nice. And your dad was a lawyer.
Father's an attorney.
Yep.
Still, retired now.
Right. And your mom worked for Red Cross, right?
Red Cross, then she went to the IRS.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, my mother is one of the, she went to college forever. My mom, she got her PhD or whatever in psychology, never used it except on me and her husband. She married my stepfather twice, so something worked somewhere. I don't know, but she worked at the IRS, retired from there in Philly, 10 years ago.
Nice, man. So I want to get back, start with your story. So coming up, playing in Millville, home of Mike Trout, right?
Yes.
So you play softball now, but coming up, were you playing baseball or what were you doing?
Yeah, it was back different then.
Right.
But I played baseball, always 16 years old, like, the Babe Ruth. And after that, I was uncoachable as a child.
Mm-hmm.
In football because I don't like being yelled at. Like you can talk to me and I'll do whatever you need me to.
Right.
But if you yell at me, I shut down. So football was never a thing. I probably should have played baseball, and then I've golfed a lot.
Yeah.
So that's my thing now.
Yeah. No, dude, golf. I mean, I'm not good at it, but I
are good at it. We get paid a lot. If we were good, we get paid a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, I'll tell you, coming back, like my big things coming up are wrestling and boxing and things like that. I love football, but when you get to high school, you have to focus on one so you go to college. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right. I never did that, but I focus, you know what I mean?
We know now.
Right.
But
look, I've always said, looking back, had I picked one sport to focus on, I probably would pick golf because you ain't cutting weight. It ain't that hard physically.
John Daly's the best. And look, he has fun every day. Every day he comes out. I mean, he's my idol. I love that guy.
Cracking some cold wood,
smoking cigarettes and going, and he doesn't care about anything. You know what I mean?
He's the best.
He's the best,
dude. And you can go have burgers and chili dogs and whatever.
You got to chase a little white ball.
Yeah.
How bad can that be?
Yeah, barely not that bad. So nice. So you're on the show. So you're growing up Millville, coming up. Your parents would get separated. Your mom would move to Philly. Your dad would stay in Jersey. Yep. So what was that like? Was you shared custody? Did you have to choose? Like, what did they make you do?
So my parents got divorced when we were young.
Yeah.
I was probably 8.
Okay.
So
it's been your whole life.
Yeah. So my mother married her high school. It's a quick story. My mother's married to her high school sweetheart now.
Nice.
She met my father, left her husband now when they were in high school. So my mother was with my stepfather in high school, met my real father, left him. And for some reason, my stepdad took her back twice. He married her twice. And so he was living in Philly. So around 14 or 15 is when it started going back and forth. Then I made a move with my mom. Hey, listen, we should move to PA because I get my license at 16.
Yes.
So that's when it all started.
Smart man. So you get the PA plus 2, like, and you mentioned on the other show, your stepdad is your guy. Right?
He's aces. He's my number one.
Dude, I'll tell you, man, I love hearing that where it's like a guy steps in and really like builds the bond with the kid. Because I had a buddy of mine, he had been with this chick, married her, and she had a kid from a previous relationship. And when they would end up splitting up, and he told me splitting up with the girl was whatever. I was done with her, but he's like, you develop a relationship with that kid.
Yeah, that's why.
That's the toughest.
That's the problem. I mean, the girl I just, we separated from, I was with her a couple of years. I think I like the kids more than her half the time. You know what I mean? Even though they were daughters, and I said, but from now on, no dating, no kids unless they're grown. This I can't do it. It's
No, it's tough. It's tough for sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's times it's great. I got a 3-year-old now. There's times that it's bliss. But there's times where I'm like, yo, this kid needs to shut up.
Well, this and it's so different now, like times now. Like if you look on my social media, I'm an asshole. Oops, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. But.
You're good.
I'm an asshole. So I would go to these cheerleading competitions with my girlfriend at the time, and one of my sweatshirts says "Do MILFs, not drugs."
Love it.
So there's 10,000. These cheerleading competitions are insane. I've never seen there's got to be a way to make a fortune off of that. I'm not sure what it is.
Right.
But I would go there and wear that, or all kinds of shirts that just are half inappropriate. Or everybody know, like, don't talk to me and leave the kids alone.
Yeah.
And I watch them. It's so different now with society. I'm watching the girls, like, I'm making sure nothing happens to them. Yes. All the moms are running around, they don't care. I'm like, there's all these weirdos out there, like, but
bro,
they don't see that right now. Dude, that's the problem.
Dude, I'll tell you one thing that I'm proud, like, really happy of with my neighborhood that I live in. I live in like a court, right?
Okay.
And there's like a bunch of like, we're really fortunate where there's like a bunch of little kids and everyone will come out and play and do all the things. But the dads are like on watch all the time. Like, yo, this car was creeping around. We go up to the car, like, dude, what the hell are you doing here? Like,
100%.
We don't let that, like, when, everyone's on watch. Like, the kids are the priority, even if it's not your kid. All the kids are priority, which I think that is the number one. Because, dude, more creep. Like, when we were coming up, they just let you go outside and you go out.
And now you can't drive down the street, No. And I was explaining to the kids and to my ex, I was like, listen, there's roads I don't want you down at night. Because you're driving the Escalade, tinted windows. They're going to carjack you. What are you 3 going to do? Nothing. Don't even go down that road. And they're like, well, why? It's like, because you don't understand. Like, I see what the bad out there. Like, some people don't realize it. So my thing is protection. Like, when they go to the bathroom, I'll make sure no guys, with this bathroom stuff now. I stand by the bathroom door. Like, if somebody thought they were going there a guy, they wasn't happening.
No. Hell no. And, like, we're not trying to get overly political, but if there's young girls in a bathroom, they're the moms and them is the only ones going
100%.
And that should be the rule, right?
I agree.
Yeah. So nice. So, okay. So I love what you said about the cheerleading thing, though, because that is a gimmick, brother.
There's got to be a way to make millions off that because it's so nuts. The parents are nuts. The kids are nuts, dude. It's just so many people. I'm like, what am I doing here? First of all, I wanted to blow my face off when I'm there because I'm like, you sit around, you run around. The girls are doing this for a minute and a half the whole weekend. They perform a minute and a half, and you're there for 96 hours. Like, no, this isn't okay. Thursday night, or Sunday night, it's just getting done at 10 o'clock. Like, what is happening,
bro?
Listen, they enjoy it.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's the same. I don't know if you've been to a dance recital.
No, not.
Bro, if you want, you thought cheerleading was bad. Wait till you go to a dance recital. Dude.
Yeah, no dance, no cheer. Listen, and the thing is, you had girls, and girls are the worst right now. Like, Boys are okay because you can still beat them a little bit.
Dude,
a little bit.
No, I'm with, like, I said the same thing. Like, I have a daughter. I was like,
Oh.
I feel like I can love her more because I can love her like more. Like I can kiss her on the cheek.
Yeah,
and stuff. That shit stops with a boy. You know what I'm saying?
A few moments later.
So let's keep coming back. So I want to start talking about growing up. When did you you were hustling since, like, you had a young kid gimmick, right? Like you had a young kid hustle, like coming up through school. What were you doing?
So I think I started with a paper route, and I was delivering newspapers probably 6th grade on my bike.
Yeah.
And I actually paid the person to take their route. So I had 2 routes in one and I did it before Christmas. I remember Christmas tips were good. So I made a deal with the girl that was doing like 30. I had 60 on my route. I took her 30.
Nice.
Because Christmas time was coming. I know I can make the money on it.
Yeah.
And then also my grandfather had a business, a fuel oil company.
Mm-hmm.
And he picked me up after grade school, 4th, 5th grade. And I'd go end up with him at work for a few hours.
Yeah.
Before my mother got home.
Yeah.
And he had me work. He wasn't sit around and watch. He had me work.
Hey,
so I had started early on. I mean, from the baseball card hustle to it's always something. I broke down patches of Sour Patch Kids and would sell them in little bags from the local gas station.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was, but it was a different time then too.
Yeah.
So
back when penny candy was a real thing.
Right. You know what I mean? I took Polaroid pictures and I would use my dad, I'd play on his emotions. Hey, Dad, before we go to school, can we stop and pick up a pack of Polaroid film? It would be like $9 and I'd charge $1 a picture at school.
Dude.
So, those guys, and my dad was paying for it. It was all free money to me. So
yeah.
it was just that, I'd buy day old pies and I was selling pie. I'd buy day old pie for $1 and sell $1 slice when I got to school. So it was always
$7 profit on it.
And I had it all figured out. When I come with candy, like junior high, I'd have both my pockets full of candy in my jacket, my jean jacket, selling bags of candy. So it was definitely I've had a hustle in my whole life.
Nice, love it. So you just been honestly too, like, hustle is one word, but also work ethic, right?
Yeah, that's what it is too. Work ethic. I'm huge on that now.
Mm-hmm.
I have 4 kids. My 2 oldest kids. My oldest one knows I fired him when he was 16. He worked for me. So I had come home in 2010.
Yeah.
I started a construction company like 2012.
Yeah.
Because I was still in real estate and I was flipping houses and I saw that the contractors make more than I was.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. I could do that too. So I wanted all the angles.
Mm-hmm.
So my kid, he's in school and I have him working after school. He had 15 minutes to get to where a job was.
Yeah.
One day he wanted to go to the beach with his friends at 16 years old.
Oh.
I said, well, listen, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You make your decision.
Right.
He made a decision and he went.
Yeah.
So I fired him.
Yeah. Hey, man.
For 2 weeks. He came work the next day. I was like, we don't have any for you. I hired somebody to take your spot.
Yeah. The job had to get done.
Job had to get done.
You
so
weren't there.
I taught him a lesson. However, his mother was the softer one, of course. And she was like, you work him too hard. You don't have any fun, this and that. I
like,
said,
it's work.
It's not that fun living in the basement next 20 years either.
Yeah.
So it was a fight. My whole thing with the kids is I've had a fight with the other side, the parents, their mom, because they don't understand what I do.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So, I'm about work. I work every day.
Yeah.
Even when I don't have to, I still do.
Yeah.
So junior, my oldest, Devin Jr., who has the construction company now.
Yeah.
He knows, he understands it, and every day he's picking up more.
Mm-hmm.
My second kid, Chase, he's just a maniac. And he's just a totally different than everybody.
Yeah.
I hired him twice, and he came over. I hired him long enough so he could buy his own house. He was 19, bought his first house.
Hell yeah.
And the same thing with my oldest. So he has a couple rentals now and a house at 26.
Dude. You're teaching these kids unbelievable life skills. Like, and this is unreal.
I didn't give them anything.
Right.
I gave them the opportunity to do it, and I put them in the position to do it. But I didn't say, "Here's 50,000."
Right.
Because you got to learn, and they don't appreciate it.
Exactly.
So what Chase would do, my middle kid, is he would come to work 15 minutes, 20 minutes late every day. He had 4 or 5 guys that work for him. Under his. So this kid's 18, just out of high school, 19, but he couldn't get to work on time.
Yeah.
I'm like, Chase, he doesn't understand that those 4 guys are making $50 an hour, $40 an hour, that you're costing $100 every day late. Plus, they think that
if you can show up late, they can show up late. Yes.
So one day, just let him go, and he's better not with us, and we just take care of him instead. Like we have a gym at our warehouse. He comes, works out every day.
Nice.
He'll work. He never calls off, but he's ready to be done at 4 o'clock. Where we work from sun up to sundown, at some days.
It's just work till the job's done. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's the way it is. Dude, I'll tell you, that's an old school work ethic that you don't see a lot these days. And I love that you're instilling that in the youth, in your children, and letting them know, like, hey, man, This is how business gets done. You want to do good business? Be a good businessman. You know what I mean?
Money. If you want to make money, get it done, get to the next job. That's the other thing. So completion is a huge part, and I still have a problem with it sometimes because they might have these little things that are like little dumb things to close a job, but they take a day.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, I just don't want to do it because I can go get. So that, that's still learning I'm still learning, listen, to push those last couple things.
Yes.
My son, like I said, he has to work on that. That's probably his hardest thing is getting to completion. He'll get all the big stuff done, make it look good. But then we have that final thing. It's just getting, and that's, so we're both working on that.
And the details is the
other thing. So we're crazy. And my son actually is picking up same eye. We go on these flips and these rehabs. I'm like, we would have to tear this apart and redo it.
Yeah.
And they just redid it all. But people don't see the same things as we do. And people don't look at lines like we do. And I understand that, but my jobs aren't going to be like that.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, that's the way you do it. So I love that you got your family involved. Everyone's working. It's really, flipping keys, link in the description of this episode. Check it out. But it's really turning into a family business. And your son just took over his own construction company.
Yeah, he has a construction company.
Chase. Or no, Devin Jr.
Yeah. Devin DWJR Enterprises. So he now owns the
JR Enterprises?
Yeah,
I love that.
So he has the construction part. So now I hire, if I don't bring him in on a flip, which I'm trying to get him more into the flip because at the end of the day, we don't have to deal with the public.
Yeah.
I mean, it just gets, it gets tough.
Yeah.
So I make him, he had some money. I was like, come on. So I made him he gave me 20,000 or whatever. So now he's in all the flips. So part of it, so he'll get a check for 7,000, maybe here or there.
Yeah.
But
he already made back that 20.
Right.
Yeah,
you got to know. So he's now he has to pick up the eye where, hey, listen, we see a place, it's goodbye.
Yeah.
His numbers, he's not quite yet. When I can walk into a place, say this is what's going to cost to rehab it. He's getting there.
Yeah.
But I want to bring him there so we can just if we flip enough houses, if we go to 70 houses a year, we can keep all the companies still busy.
Dude, that's unreal.
And we don't have to deal with the public.
Yeah.
So that's the key.
So like you're saying, when you don't have to deal with the public, like you don't have to get zoning permits.
No, I don't. The public, like for the construction company, I don't have to work for Joe over here. I don't do their kitchen when we do our own. Kitchen, and we don't have to have Joe trying to steal from us because he wants an outlet.
Be pissed about every little gimmick. And
it's 100. So we just do our own thing, and we can just yell it all our own.
Yeah. Look, this is how we want to set up, and then this is done, and
they know. Yeah. So
go. Dude, you do like my uncle did some time, and when he got out, he got into real estate. One of the things he did is he would get like the evicted houses in the city in like Fishtown, K&A, like that area. And like we would clean, dude, my dad, like he, was in between jobs. So what we would do would clean them out sometimes. Bro, we go in as like mattresses, porno mags, and pills everywhere. Like, and I'm like 13, like, what is going on?
Yeah, no, we do that. We do that.
Yeah. But so like, but that dude, honestly, it really changed the landscape of an entire neighborhood. Because if you look at Fishtown now, it's
my mother lived there. She went from, she moved to shoot. So she was on Thompson Street in Fishtown.
Nice.
And she bought there, I don't know, it was probably 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It was 120,000.
Yeah.
Just sold for 600.
Dude.
To come out. So she's right next to, Port Richmond Plaza.
It's probably like a beautiful 3-story stone row home.
That's exactly what it is.
Done.
But I'm like, we actually flipped a couple there and we had to stop going to Philly.
Yeah.
Because Elle and I always had their hand out for, they want money, which is fine. And I respect that. Listen, you want 500, but don't hit me every day.
Right.
For things, there's too much dust. How's there dust? We're inside, but it's, again, there are things you got to deal with and you got to be on the move and you can't let it bother you like a lot of people get bothered by that stuff.
Yeah. No, I agree. So, okay, let's bring it back though. I want to talk about, so you're getting into high school and then so in high school, what was the turn from, because you were a good kid, right? Like,
I was not a bad kid ever. Like,
you did your work, schoolwork and all that, but then you had an incident with your grandfather passing away, right? And then that's kind of maybe was that and like some influences and everything.
Yeah, so my grandfather was my best friend. I mean, like you said, I was with him every day.
Yeah.
And so they had made me a deal when I was probably 15. If I don't do drugs during school, my grandmother never really got along as well. Because my grandfather had such a good relationship with me. Right. And what happened with my grandfather, actually, my mother was adopted by him.
Okay.
So he wasn't really blood, but I was his number one. That the grandson.
Yeah.
And my grandmother was always a little resentful because she had a son.
Yeah.
Worked for the business. Yeah. Was older.
Yeah.
But he's not near as smart as me.
No.
And that's not, listen.
It is what it is.
And my grandfather knew that. So
yeah. And he probably wasn't as a hustler.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
And listen, because he was just there, he hated things and whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm 16 years old with these big business ideas. My grandfather's also where my uncle, he might have said that, but he never followed through with anything.
Yeah.
So my grandfather, so they made me a deal. I never did drugs. I mean, even when my friends were like, that's only weed was big. Not even big then, but they were like smoking. I would go in the other room because in case my mom would test me, which she would.
Yeah.
I'm up all night. It's like, you're doing this. Like, I'm not doing
it. I got tested one time as a kid and I failed. And my mom's like, why'd you fail this test? I was like, I didn't have enough time to study.
No, that's what if I said to mom, she would have hit me.
I say she was like, shut your mouth.
Yeah, so I never did drugs and they gave me $5,000, which that time was good money.
Hell, dude.
And
that was good money.
And so I bought my first car.
Nice.
So
what was it?
An Audi 5000.
And not a bad ride.
No, listen, a used car, but it was clean, dude. And I kept it super clean.
Hell yeah.
And at my birthday, my 17th birthday is when he passed away.
Oh shit. Okay.
So he called me out there. He said, "Happy birthday!"
Which is New Year's.
Yep.
New Year's Day.
Damn. And so he said, "Happy birthday." He died, as I watched him. So, not that I don't think that necessarily set up, but it said, "Listen, I don't care now.
Yeah.
If my grandma gets mad at me, that's fine."
Like the law, the law is kind of gone,
right? And
like,
and listen, I would not. My grandma's not here, so I can't disappoint anybody.
Right.
I didn't have that relationship where he's the man I didn't want to disappoint.
Right. So okay. So how did you then get into the drug game?
So I watched a video. Ice-T Hustler, not New Jack Hustler, but he had this hustler where he has all these people around, and I think
stripper,
it was around the pool.
Oh yeah,
and I just said, I said I can do that.
Yeah,
and I did. I mean, I started off small and just I felt around and I met the right people or the wrong people.
Right, sure.
And to this day I still hate drugs.
Yeah.
But it's a money thing.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. I started small and just. I starved until I got to where I wanted to be.
The addiction was the deal.
The deal. I still, to this day, if I have an addiction, it's just making a deal. I still get excited when I sign a $2,000 lease.
Hell yeah, dude.
And it's not a lot of money, but I like that more than
right.
So it's a deal. I can go down Lang City or wherever and win 25,000. I don't even smile. I'm signing a lease.
Yeah.
Closing the deal on somebody. I smile.
Yeah. You put the work in.
It's
results of your labor.
Yeah. It's a different thing. So that's
But it was it's like a manifestation of your mind coming in of like, look, I saw this. I saw the opportunity for this. I put this together, and now this is what I like. Yep. Boom, boom, boom. Right. You made it work. Also, like you put it like you sold it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
that's the other game. Yeah.
I closed the deal. When I got in trouble, they called it Operation Deal Breaker. So if you see like the big board is Operation because I was always that was the thing. Make the deal happen.
Nice. So what was the first step of when did you first buy it or buy stuff? Like what was your first kind of sale?
I found an 8-ball. I didn't find, but I went out on the street.
You know where to get it. Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, what do I do now? And I went to the pawn shop and they sold little bags.
Yeah.
So because I don't do drugs at that time, so I didn't know. So I'm like, okay, like these 8-ball. I cut it up, put it in bags. I took an 8-ball back that was $120.
Nice.
I made 360, and I made 18 20 bags. And then just sold to like people I knew at the thing.
No, that shit went. Yeah.
And because nobody even knew what it was as much then. They knew what it was, but my group of people, and that's just where it started. So now all of a sudden I'm making 150 or $200, and I'm like, oh shit, this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And again, it's the same thing. It's making the deal,
and you want to grow, and you want to make bigger deals,
right? And I don't want to now. So and listen though, I would sleep in high school. I wouldn't sleep some nights paranoid.
Yeah.
They're like, who did I sell to today?
Yeah.
So that hand-to-hand stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like. No. I didn't.
You didn't want the small time.
I didn't. No. And my thing was, if I go to prison, it's gonna be for something real.
Yeah.
It was
prison for a 20 bag.
No, right. And back then they were doing the same. The charges were all the same.
Yes.
So it's I said I got it. There's got to be a way to insulate myself as well as make more money.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But space yourself out for sure. So then, okay. So then you're what, like 20 at this time, maybe like 18 to 20?
18, 19, yeah, right before went to Wesley.
Okay, so then you get to Wesley.
Well, I went to Goldie Beacom first.
Okay, right.
So my first semester at Goldie Beacom, I get up there, I put a pool table in my dorm.
I love
we got a 9-ball tournament going on.
No, dude, I'll tell you, I've worked at a bar for like ever. No fight, more like women and pool. Two biggest reasons for fights. So, all right. So you got this pool, and like +2, If you're Wesley, where's Wesley at?
No, this wasn't going to be.
Oh,
This is
Gold
Dover.
Beach.
This is
Dover, Delaware.
No, I'm sorry. That's in Wilmington, right next to University of Delaware.
Okay.
So I'm real close to the University.
So, but there's also like some lace curtains, some bitches running around. So when they see a little like rough going around, they're like, I want to get in on this. Like, I want to be part of this. So they get in, they see it, and they want to like, they'll lose, like they'll lose just to be saying they were part of the gang.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, just to hang too.
Yeah.
And so we had that. So I bring some friends up from Millville.
Okay.
A
Just
couple
your boys,
fighters.
just the boys, yeah.
You know, they're
Like,
wrestlers. They're wrestlers.
Oh,
Big
love
dudes.
it.
So they come to this party, this big mixer,
Yeah.
and they were smoking weed.
Yeah.
And so somebody said something, then somebody called them the N-word, and then it just kicked off.
Yeah. Dang.
So I was pledging at the time. One of my friends from my high school was, and they let me pledge with them. And at that time the motto was "We Not Me."
Right.
So we're fighting the other fraternity that was throwing the mixer.
Yeah.
And my brothers that I was pledging with, they want me to go steal signs.
The other fraternity brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the one I was pledging with, you know, the ones they want me to go steal signs with and do their dishes and take their trash out.
Yeah.
They weren't helping me fight this other fraternity. So we beat them up too.
Yeah, good. That's what
So
they get.
then I got blackballed from that, which is I didn't care.
Yeah. They're losing out anyway.
Yeah.
Since you were their plug.
And so from there, when I get thrown out, I got to tell my dad because I lived with my father at the time.
Right.
You know, I got thrown out.
Right.
But before I'd done that, I had already figured out where I'm going to go next.
Nice.
So when I went to the next day, the dean calls me. He's like, "Listen, you got to leave." And I said, "Well, that's okay, but my father's an attorney. You let underage people drink. That's what happened.
Yeah.
And you know it. So there's some culpability on your end."
Right.
So I always had an angle of what was going to happen.
Right.
You know, so that I always had something against you as well.
Yes.
So you're never going to just push me around.
No.
Like that's not happening.
No.
So I called my cousin at the time was going to Wesley, which is in Dover, Delaware.
Okay.
And I'm like, "Listen, I got to figure something out before I go see Dad because he might really beat me up."
Yeah.
And I get in, I go there for an interview. I say I can golf a little bit. You know, back then I was like an 8 or 9 handicap.
Oh, nice.
But I always overhit all my clubs.
Right.
Like, you know, I'm hitting a wedge 220, you know, like an idiot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no gentle. Gentle.
And swinging for the fences.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I go there and they let me in. So I tell my father, "Listen, I got thrown out of this one, but I got another one to go to."
Right.
So he's at the dinner table and, you know, he's an asshole. My father's an asshole. He says, "Okay," you know, he's giving me a hard time. At the same time, my grandmother, his mother, is we're at the beach house, and he says, "Bill," was my father's name, "you don't tell Devin about the time he got thrown out of the law library?" And he's like, he looks at her, he's like, "I'm gonna." So his brother tells, he said, "Yeah, your dad was in the law library at Widener, and somebody told him to be quiet because he was talking. He picked the book up and hit him in the face with the book." I said, "Okay, I'm never getting in trouble now."
Yeah.
You can never tell me.
So what I did, you know, we're on the same page.
We're on the same thing.
Nice.
It's because you. It's not mom is the nice one. You're the asshole.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so you get to Wesley, right? Okay, so what then? You still got the itch for the hustle.
Listen,
like,
it's
are you
bigger now?
Are you kind of one where you walk into a situation like, how can I make money?
How can I monetize? Yes,
Love
to
it.
this day.
Love
Same
it.
thing.
Nice.
So I go there and I see Deltec is close. They have a lot of fraternities over there,
Nice.
but it's still out here it's nothing. It's all rural areas. It's not, you know, so Wilmington is 90 miles away, 80 miles away. There's no, so I said, what can I bring to this table? And that's when I think gambling's going to be good and weed there because nobody has weed. So they're having these big shows. Everybody's outside like, "Yo, I need a 20 bag of weed." I got you.
Yeah.
So that's where that came in. So the casino aspect of the college experience was awesome. And, you know, we ran tables, we took money off the table.
Nice.
You know,
So
blackjack tables.
what games were you playing? Like CeeLo?
Blackjack and CeeLo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
So the blackjack table would take $1 or 50 cents. There'd be 50 cents for whatever you played. You had to put 50 cents in.
Oh, okay. Per play, the house takes 50.
Yeah,
Got
yes.
it. Okay.
And we also housed it, but we took it to play. So back then, these kids are so stupid. They don't even understand. You're getting
losing.
double. But you want to play the game? Let's get it.
Yeah.
So that's what turned the 50 cents per hand. I think it was like a $20 max at that time. That 50 cents per hand made us a ton of money.
Yeah.
So even we got hit that night, we still had.
You made your house play. Yeah.
And then CeeLo, the game, you know, there'd be 4 or 5 people shooting. They would just take $1 every point. I'd have somebody there take $1.
Yeah.
Hey, nobody, if you're picking up $30, you don't miss one.
Right.
But when it goes on 300 times,
yeah,
you don't realize I got 300 now. You only have $10.
Yeah.
But that's what we did.
Hey,
so and brought weed. I brought weed into.
Plus, too, the big thing is like you had to have cash to play.
Yes.
It was like that's. I feel like a lot of times like when you're placing a bet on a book, it's different where it's like they don't have the cash. You're being fronted. Right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So and that's the thing with gambling. So, but I would have people come home from the weekend when they go home. They'd bring me their mom's gas card.
God.
I'd have to get gas in my car to pay me back.
Yeah.
Because I'd also loan $100. Like I think I had a
yeah.
$200 limit then, like the loan money.
Yeah.
But it costs you $300 back.
Right.
Well, they come with their mom's credit card or so, like so. I had a bunch of stuff.
I said no code.
Yeah. And that's when before the Super Wow Wows came out.
Oh yeah.
So you go in there. I mean, you can still buy some food, and there's like Dunkin' Donuts attached to it or things like that. So we made it work. So
right.
I'm not sure
hey
how.
man, as long as they're doing something. That's the big thing. Okay, so you got this hustle here, right? Like how? But you're in a dorm doing this, right? How are you able to do this while in a dorm? Because there's RAs, right?
So we paid the RA. The RA was a female. It was a co-ed dorm.
Oh, nice.
And we paid the RA off. So she made more.
And you had a
making sure,
too, right?
Yes, her friends. So that's the thing. You always have to know who can help who.
Right.
I get
like
yelled
because the RA wouldn't screw over her friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's not going to tell on her.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. Like mentally, that my thought process.
Smart. That's smart.
I got to bring it. I'm bringing a mom and dad.
Yeah.
Mom's not going to tell that. That kind of thing. So
right.
if I bring your best friend in, as long as you don't hook up with her boyfriend,
we're good.
They're good.
Yeah.
So I know that's how I always kind of like insulate myself from things. Is I keep this one and that one.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. So how does that all end at Wesley?
I leave. I'm done. Get out of school.
Yeah.
I didn't listen. I paid for every paper I did. I don't think I went to.
And you graduated?
Yeah.
What'd you get a degree?
Management.
Okay, man. All right.
So and I paid for that.
Nice.
So
this were like you weren't even going to class really.
No.
Yeah. You just.
I made my classes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So Friday to Monday, I come back to Jersey.
Yeah.
I can stay there and just keep the thing open.
Yeah.
And I had a person in every office at the end of the day that would do from the billing department, so I'd just go pay them for the school or whatever, to the records department. So I had access. You have access to people, and listen, that's what it comes down to.
Dude, hey, also too, like you're not afraid to talk, man. Like, hey, how can we work this out?
How can we make this work?
There's got to be a way we can make this. Do you want me to donate something? Yeah.
So I mean, donations are huge.
Do you ever hear the saying, "What's the greatest nation in the world?" Donate.
Well, here's my motto: why be a politician when buy one?
No, that's the truth.
And it's true. I mean, they're
especially
all
in Jersey.
You're not lying, except the governor. He's not on my. He won't listen. He don't like what I do.
Hey man,
he don't like anybody working.
Hey, well, this one don't. But guess what? Another one will come up.
Eventually. I mean, if you didn't work in Jersey, and that's the biggest thing. I have all these rental properties, and the governor comes on TV and says, "Don't pay your rent." Oh, what? Hold on. The prison guards I rent to, they didn't lose their job.
Nope.
The state workers, they didn't lose their job, but you telling them not to pay.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a legitimate problem, I'll work with you.
Right.
No problem.
Right.
But if you don't, then you're just a scumbag now because you don't pay.
Yeah.
So
and
we
the
lost
bank's not
listen, they're not saying don't pay your tax. Your property
you
tax,
still have to pay the bank. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So that's that was my problem with the COVID area.
Damn. All right. So you leave Wesley, right? And then you get back. You're back in Jersey. So what do you got going on now, right? Like you.
So
again,
right now we
want to up, right? We want to up the game.
We have the book going on.
Love it. So you took the book from Wesley and just. It started with blackjack and CeeLo and then expanded like, hey, why don't we get some football bets?
So in Wesley was also basketball because we had the basketball games.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
nice. We take basketball games like I was taking action in the auditorium.
Did you know any of the guys?
Oh, they would never do such a thing. So listen, that's why I tell people all the time, don't bet on sports; they're all fixed.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, there's somebody. I've sat at tables where guys have paid players, college players, to make sure they don't, and 10 guys. In college back then, if they gave you 10,000, you're going to miss that 3-pointer.
Hell yeah, brother.
But then now what happens is they owe you. Now they own you. Now you can't get out of it, which that's the bad part.
Yeah.
So
I've been boxing since I was 6, like the most corrupt sport on the planet. You know what I mean? So that shit 1000% exists on every level.
And it doesn't. That's what I say. That's why gambling is terrible. You can't win at the end of the day.
Unless you're the house.
It's fun unless you're the house. That's why I want to be the house.
Hey man. Nice. So you expanded your book. Are you still running like pocket games here and there, or is
So
it just
no,
more book?
it was booked then.
Yeah.
And
Because
that's
you'd have to get a place and have someone there
and poker wasn't big
secure
then.
it. Yeah.
And you know,
And plus the online's coming in, right?
no, not yet.
Oh, okay.
So and poker wasn't big then either. So blackjack would have been okay. So it was okay at parties. Like I would do it at parties. My friends would have like they'd rent like halls, and I would run a blackjack table.
Oh,
there.
nice.
But I didn't have like a space like I did for the poker rooms.
Yeah.
So I had a poker room at later down the road. But that's when poker got like Texas Hold'em got big.
Yeah.
But back in '96 to '98, '99, it wasn't a big deal.
No.
So it was drugs and steroids then.
Yeah.
That was
Dude, I tell you what, I would love to see like a demographic workup of like the most steroids sold in the country.
Oh,
because Jersey's got to be up there.
listen, they buy the most. The most probably come from out west, like Arizona, because close to Mexico.
Okay.
But I guarantee Jersey buys probably the most. I mean,
Dude, all them juiced up Italian, like
they're all over. They're all over.
Italian gorilla.
Yeah, everywhere. Listen, I mean, I did a lot of steroids, I love them. I mean, I do. I don't do it anymore, but I'm old, But when I was in my prime, I mean, they just make you feel good, and you can lift the whole world.
Oh yeah.
But, I went. So we have a gym in my warehouse. My son's into training now, which is nice. He did. I think 315 for 9 the other day. That's strong. Yeah. But I went to Planet Fitness. And I'm looking around like this ain't like a real gym. Like the gyms I went to in the day, they were eating raw garlic in the back. The old men.
Yeah.
And there was stunk and the metals rot.
Yeah.
Now, if you make a noise in Planet Fitness,
you
have to leave.
Yeah.
And you look at the guys and you don't know if they're guys or girls.
Yeah.
I'm like,
or
their
age either.
Yeah.
Like,
but when I was in the gym, you're trying to lift the whole gym.
Yeah.
Now they're like, well, I think 135 is enough. I don't need to be. Say, hey, listen, man, you better carry your gun.
Yeah. Bigger the better was the way to go.
Back there. Yeah, absolutely.
Plus, dude, now if you go to the gym, like I'm there and I'm like in my mind, I'm like, please put some fucking clothes on. Like I'm married. Like I'm married. I can't be looking at you.
And that's the thing, the difference now, especially that's what social media ruined the whole landscape of like real gyms, because and I understand, listen, everybody's got to hustle. It's good, but if you want to do that stuff, do it in a private gym.
Yeah.
You want to video yourself and do it in a private gym.
Yeah. Right. You're whatever. Yeah. I agree. So nice. Okay. So you have the book going and everything, and you're selling steroids and weed still, right?
And coke.
Nice. So how is it like? I don't want to give away too much, but where were you like getting everything from? Like, was the weed and coke different guys?
Yes. 100%. So the weed was actually from a friend of mine's brother.
Okay.
That I knew. So I would go through connections. I was always looking for a better deal. I mean,
Right.
So I had a connection in Pleasantville. I had a connection in Bridgeton. I had a connection in Camden. When I first started with the coke, I would pull my hat down real low, get tan to look Spanish.
Yeah.
And that's told the story. But I would walk into projects in Camden where they had the doors, the bottom of the doors, just gates on them. And a guy at the end of the hallway. So it's just in the projects, and it was all dogs. All you hear is dogs barking. You smell dog shit walking through 150-foot, probably 200-foot hallway to the end with a big metal door with a guy with an AK. Oh, like usually like a Haitian dude or something. You walk in and there's just 50 kilos on things. So what do you want? I mean, they could have, again, if you think about it now, what was I thinking? Like, what an asshole.
Yeah, you're
like, I would never do it now. I mean, I wouldn't even advise somebody to do it. But at that time, you're not thinking.
No.
I'm thinking I want to go buy these 9 ounces.
Yeah.
And this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Because nobody else is making these moves I can find. So
you get in the stuff, like you're going, like that's at first. Eventually you develop a relationship and you get a system down and like.
Well, that's the thing. So what that does is it makes you make moves. So then I was flying to, there was a ex-girlfriend of mine who was living in Oregon. I would fly to Vegas in probably like 97, 99, in that range. And I'd fly to Vegas. I'd play poker there. That's when I started playing poker.
Nice.
And that's where I got scammed, the biggest scam ever.
In Vegas.
In Vegas.
Okay.
So, I'm new to poker, Texas Hold'em at that time. I'm sitting at a table and there's 7 players. And I'm right next to the dealer here. There's an older lady to the left. There's a younger guy and a couple other, I don't know. So, and I'm playing and I have money. I mean, back then, I may have 20,000.
You're looking to play.
I'm looking to play.
Yeah.
And they know that.
Yeah.
So I'm going in like, I can't win a hand. And I'm getting raised and then she's folding. I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Going to find out. I was the mark and they were
all,
So they saw a dude come down, sit down with too much money.
Yep.
I got beat by a 7-year-old lady. She whooped my ass. You know what I mean? Like,
but they were all feeding.
But they were all feeding.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So that's where I learned that, now that's when I learned, okay, well, so in poker, if I can get 3 guys at the table, what can we do?
Yeah.
So, but also, and what that did was I sat next to people, and because of the cash at that time, I met other people that kind of got the feeling like, so that's when I found my steroid connection.
Nice.
In Vegas.
Okay.
I mean, the dude was playing, he's like, yeah, you're a big dude. I was like, yeah. He's like, well, I'm talking to him, and then all of a sudden, I'm with the biggest steroid dealer in the West Coast.
Yeah.
And then so now I have this connection.
Yeah.
So that's it's all about learning, people and connections.
And hey, making deals. Right?
Making deals. That's it. Yeah.
So, but they have to come. Like, it's also too, like, when you meet a guy, it is like you can meet a guy and be like, this is Joe Shit the Rag Man. Like, I ain't dealing with this jabroni. You know what I mean?
Right away.
But
you
like,
get that feeling.
Yeah, exactly. You can smell your own.
If they're solid. 100%. Yes.
So okay. So you establish these deals. So you got the coke game, you got the weed, you got steroids, you got the book. Like, do you have an idea roughly of like what you were bringing in on a monthly basis?
Well, with the drugs, probably 20 to 50,000 a month.
Okay.
By the time we got done all the bullshit.
Yeah.
With the book, it really does. It's hard to tell because like I said, living in Philadelphia area, when the Eagles covered, I got buried. But I had won $1 million. I made $1 million one year. 1999, I made $1 million in the book because I'd never really commingled the thing. So the drug game was kind of loose and wacky.
Mm-hmm.
It was safe, but the money was different than the book money. The book money, as soon as we would pick it up, I put it in the safe.
Yeah.
Because I didn't ever want to not be able to pay.
Okay.
With the drug game, it's a different story. I mean, listen, we beat before. That's part of nature.
Yeah. There's things that come with it.
Right. Yeah. And so I had a real good team with the book. He was one of my good friends that like ran most of the stuff for me. He always took care of me. Like, I'm a mess at the end of the day. Like
right.
I
got so much going on.
Yeah, and I'm always 100 mile an hour. So he was a guy that he made sure my phone bills were paid. Hey, listen, make sure you take this when you leave. Like, so he's kind of like he took care of me, and he did well in the book too. But then every now and again he liked to bet,
right?
Which is fine. But I say, listen, we got to be on the other side,
right.
He's like, well, I'm gonna put this play in. I'm gonna put this out. That's actually I got him. He made plays with me. I was like, listen, and he was my friend. Like, don't do anymore. We'll make money off of him.
Yeah. Like, let's play the game right here.
Yeah. Just watch him and hope we win.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, okay. So one of the other things you mentioned as a vice, and you've talked about it, you got 4 kids, but one of your biggest vices besides money and, gambling is you like the ladies.
I do.
Dude, there's nothing not to like, brother.
I know, you know. I've messed up a whole lot of shit because of that. I mean, I've had some very good women in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the ones I've settled down with are all great people. I'm just an asshole.
Right.
And
Dude,
know
it's impossible to say no. Sometimes,
I have no problem saying no. It's just the point. It's again, it's the deal.
Yeah.
Like
the chase too.
Exactly. Well, the ones like, you couldn't hit that. What?
Now you got it.
Now I got you. Or the ones that like won't pay attention. I don't want the ones that like fly
all over. Yeah.
I want the ones that say, I'm not. He's an asshole. I got you. You know. So my longest relationship with a girl, Michelle, that's how I got with her over a bet.
Oh, really?
She would come over to the barbershop, when I was going to all the time, and like, that's this girl, Michelle. I was like, I get that, like, she's nothing, no big deal.
Yeah.
Like, no, I was like, well, it took a year and a half.
Hey, man.
But I got it.
You love the chase, though.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, it's like you can do the chase, but you got to have like a side while you're doing the chase. So you're not pent up.
No. And that's the thing, so that's, I've had good women in my life. I mean, I fucked them all up.
Yeah.
I mean, just me. And I can admit it, it's my fault. I mean, the thing is, I want somebody, I would rather have a happy idiot than, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
Right.
Just, I'll take a McDonald's where I don't care if they make money, as long as they're happy and they're loyal and they know what our plan is.
Yeah.
I can't have somebody that fights me every day.
No. God, you don't want a headache.
And I've had that. I've had that. And it's just, I want easy. And the fact that I know you know what our goal is.
Yeah.
I'll bring you along. Money doesn't matter.
Yeah.
My old assistant, she was a great girl.
Yeah.
She just didn't quite get it all the way.
Yeah.
She got it. She was the work, phenomenal.
Yeah.
But she had parents who were very democratic and they didn't understand hard work. Not they didn't understand hard work, that's wrong. They're both school teachers.
Okay.
So they had the 9-to-5 job, we'll say.
Yeah.
They retire 60.
Yeah.
They collect the pension. I don't live that life.
Okay.
So when their daughter was working 60 hours a week because she had a kid, and I'm trying to explain, like, listen, you got to struggle first. I don't let anybody just have it.
Right.
And she handled the struggle well as you could with all the outside pressure.
Okay.
But she was emotional.
Yeah.
And once you get emotional, you can't you don't see it. So
and it's not, and you're not rational.
And you're not right.
You lose the rationality.
100%.
Yeah, that's one thing I find. Like, I have a lot of trouble with that as well sometimes, and it's with men and women, where it's like if you get overly emotional, you become unrational, and it's like you pick a hill to die on. That it's like, whoa, no one wants that.
100%. But that's my big thing. So even like so I talked about Michelle. You know, she's a hustler. She doesn't need anybody or anything, and I respect that from her. But she didn't tell either on me. Like she knew, and so
I love that.
The girl I was dating, this is how bad it was. The girl I was dating, Jamie, real quick. She was a school teacher, just a new school teacher when we were living together.
Okay.
She would call me and say, "Hey, listen, my friends want drugs. They want coke. All right, well, here, go take $500 worth."
Yeah.
She go sell it to her, keep the money.
Right.
Well, we get raided. They hear the phone calls. I say I'm not cooperating, and she tells about some shit that wasn't even true. So I'm like, hold on, you're a school teacher that I could bury, and you're telling on me. So there was no loyalty there. So that was one of the few of girlfriends that, you know, the 5 long-term, I say long year, a couple years or better. Yeah. That she was just, there was no loyalty. Yeah. The commitment wasn't. And I still didn't tell on her. Yeah. Because I just don't believe in that. Right. So agreed. The other one, you know, is just, you know, everybody else is solid. So I know they have my back. Nice. And that's important to me.
So let's talk about that though. So how long, like you had a great run. Like, let's talk about it. You had a run, like a pretty good run, like a 12-year run in the game. That is a great. It was
actually, 12 plus, like 12, 14, probably close to
14. 14-year run in the game is almost unheard of. And you kind of attested that a lot to, like, you're not a super flashy guy. Like, you just kind of, hey, this is what I need for this, and that's what I get. I don't need to.
And everybody comes along. Yeah. Like, you know, if I'm at dinner, I buy everybody dinner.
Right.
And not that I have to, and to this day I do. Yeah. And, you know, I saw about but like on the cheerleading competitions, the girl I was dating at the time, her family does very well. She had, you know, but I would buy everybody dinner because, listen, I just did well. 90% of these women are like struggling, and, you know, so, and I like doing that for people. So, and what it does is also keeps, like, you know, even though they still talk shit because everybody does. Yeah. But it's just, I want to bring everybody along with me. So I want everybody to eat at our table. You know, if we're there, everybody's eating.
But plus too, like, they're talking shit because they don't know you. Yeah. Have dinner, get to know me, and you'll see, like, hey, I'm not that guy you see on TV.
And ask all the questions you want. I have no problem. I'm an open book. If you want to know what I did, when I did it, that's fine. You're either gonna love me or hate me. There's no like in between.
You're good either way.
Yep. And I'm happy. I'm going to bed the same way. If you hate my guts, you love me.
Nice. So okay, so you're doing good. And do you have like an average or monthly average, like an estimate you thought what you're making when you had everything going?
So I mean, it had to be 100-something plus thousand a month. Yeah. Dang. But then, you know, like you said, so, you know, you would take hits. Like I would, you know, 50 pounds a week got stolen. Yeah. You know? I'd go away, 18 ounces of coke. Or this person didn't pay, or you know, so in a perfect world, it'd have been a whole lot more money. Right. But again, I don't believe in violence. I believe in violence.
But the intangibles are what get you. Yep. How was it? I mean, I did a little collecting for a little bit, nothing major, nothing higher than like a couple grand, right? But you had, like, when you're in that game, you had a great idea. And when you said this about the collecting, I was like, this is genius. Because you're right. The person that is lost the money, they're a loser, right? Yes. Like they're
degenerate gamblers. Gambling wrecks a lot of people.
Correct. So you weren't like, all right, this guy, what's he gonna, like, if I break the leg, he's still not gonna pay me.
I'm not getting money out of it.
Right. So tell him your move on, like, how you get him to pay.
There'd be a couple different ways. One, I would write a letter to your house. I'd send a letter to your house. Hey, John John put a couple bets in. Yeah. He owes some money. Yeah. He told me he was going to get it last week. You know, maybe you can help me get it from him. Yeah. Never threaten. Yeah. I would call your job. Hey, is John working? Well, who's this? Well, it's a friend. He owes some money to him, so he's come pick it up. Can I come get it now? You know, he owes a gambling debt. Can I come get it? So I would try to embarrass you to pay me, rather than
you got your wife or your boss being like, dude,
listen, I'll call you mom. Yeah, I would 100% have no problem calling you mom. Love it. Like, hey, listen, hey Jane, John owes some money here. Like, what are we gonna do? You know. And you know, she goes, how much is it? You know, I had a very
getting her checkbook out.
I had a very rich businessman. And his son owed probably 30,000. He had to write me checks, and you know, because I would have just ruined them. I would just, you know, that's the thing. if you make an effort, I have no problem.
Right. If he was paying it gimmick by gimmick, like little juice by juice, yeah. Yep. But they weren't willing to do it, and then that's also too. People test your mettle in the game, right? Like they test you to, right? Exactly. It has to be done. It's almost like reprimanding kids in a way, where it's like you have to stick by what you say, right? If you say, "Hey, you're going to bed after like blah blah blah," you're going to your room or whatever. Like, and you have to stay right, because and you can't just let them out after a minute. Like you have, like they might bitch and moan, but you got to ride the wave.
No, and that's the thing. You have to. You know, I say about women, but like my ex-girlfriend, I tell her, like, the problem is people think I'm soft because I don't respond. Mm-hmm. So like comments, success gets zero mercy from people.
Right.
They're not, if you're some crackhead doing an interview somewhere, they're all gonna love you. Oh, you're doing great. If you're a successful dude, and listen, I like that. I like the hate. Yeah. But you know, the problem is I was like, you gotta punch them in the face or not get. If not, they forget who you are.
Agreed.
Because if not, they're thinking, oh, he's not going to do anything. Yeah. Because I don't respond.
Right.
So when I do respond, there's something coming behind it.
So can you tell the story about one of the times you did in the grocery store?
Well, yeah. So we did parlay cards along with bets. We did parlay cards. So I had a dairy salesman that would sell the parlay cards. He hit the grocery stores twice a week. Mm-hmm. So he'd drop them off on Monday. We'd have them all printed up. Because sometimes it'd be Monday afternoon, we get them printed up after the game because the lines, or we just leave the Monday night game off, the two teams are played for the following week. Mm-hmm. So we had a guy and he played the cards and he put some bets in, and he owed not a lot, but enough. And my guy goes like, listen, Devin wants the money, blah, blah, blah. My Debo is what my nickname was.
Yeah.
From
Debo from Friday.
Yeah. So that was my nickname. So
love it.
So he's like, fuck Debo. I'm not paying him. So I was just in the mood, man. Listen, steroids up, jacked up. I was like, okay.
Didn't take much.
So I go to a store where he's the manager, dairy manager. And I said, I introduced myself because he never met me. He only met one of my runners.
Okay.
And he probably thought a little different.
Yeah.
But it was too late then.
Nope.
So I fucking beat him up on a thing and carried him through the aisle on the soup cans, down the whole row. and the soup on the end container. Yeah. So then I leave after, knock him out and leave. And one of the state police, I'm at the gym next day. He's like, they know it's you, man. Yeah. You gotta go. Yeah. So I had to go back to the store, buy $900 something worth of soup cans.
Yeah.
And they didn't press charges.
Okay.
So I bought the soup, all the damaged cans.
Okay.
Put them in the trunk of my Lincoln and took them to the soup kitchen and donated them to the homeless shelter.
I love that.
Yeah. But and then I made a ring. They told me it was like 960. I don't remember the exact number. They said it was 900. I made them ring everywhere because I wanted to see.
So you had
the lady scanned every can that was broken, and if it wasn't that, I was like, no, I don't want that one.
Yeah. That one's fine.
Yeah. So that was what we did.
Great. Yep. I love that. So okay. So everything is essentially going well. Like you're making money, you're having fun, you're going to Vegas, you're going to HD. Yeah. You're having fun, you're partying, like you're dealing with the game as it comes. You're also juicing at the time, right? So you're cock diesel. Dude, and like people that I'll tell you I'm not trying to belittle Ian, but in the Locked In interview, they didn't do you any justice.
Yeah, no.
You're a big son of a bitch.
6'3", dude,
I'm small dude. Yeah, like I'm 5'11", so you're like, I'm like, God, this guy's a big dude, and like you got some shoulders, you know what I mean? So so when if I could imagine you,
I was 310 pounds
and gassed up. Yeah. Oh, so I could, I think intimidation worked a lot too.
I never did trend, so I was always meant trend makes you nuts. And I know that, I don't believe in the roid rage thing. Only time I get angry is on the way off,
right.
Because your levels are getting that. Listen, your levels are 2,000. You're feeling great. Oh, you want to kill everybody. You want to bang everything on watch.
Bro, the gimmick is real. Like it helps you out.
So I mean, you're like, damn, she didn't look good yesterday, but she looks good.
Yeah. Like I was thinking of like, no wonder Arnold banged his housemate. I can tell exactly what he was like. He thought some shit. He was hyped up.
And all the stuff he did, he was great. But I mean, you can't help it. You can't blame the guy.
Come on, dude. Hey,
outside interference.
You're human at the end of the day, So okay. When did it go down that this is like you have everything going? What happened that it went down? Like when did it start to decline, or when?
So there was never a decline.
Okay.
So what I had an idea. So one of my very good friends, even to this day, her name's Alyssa. Mm-hmm. We would talk every day.
Okay.
And at that time, I was not dating Michelle. I was dating Jamie, the school teacher, the one that told.
Okay.
The one that's selling drugs and tells them.
Yeah.
But I would talk to Liz every day. It's like, listen, I'm getting out. I don't like drugs. I don't like the game. Taking them to and real estate now is kicking off.
Yeah. The book is better.
And I like the book. And that's all I want to do. Listen.
Better.
And at that time, I was setting up. I was the first one in the area to go to Costa Rica to have
so smart
set up there with the casino because that was before online gambling.
Yeah.
So I was like, listen, I'm getting out of this at 32.
And you get your offshore accounts there too.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So at 32, I was, my thing was at 32.
Mm-hmm.
Unbeknownst to me, as all these phone calls, I was under 24-hour surveillance for 18 months. And I didn't know. I saw them twice. That's it.
Dude.
So, and they never caught me on anything.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I did run from one time and dump some stuff in the lake, which is the story.
Yeah. Right.
But so that was my idea was, listen, I love real estate because again, it's about making a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I can change things.
Mm-hmm.
And the book, I mean, it's not a big deal. You get a slap on the wrist.
Right.
You get people get knocked off all the time.
They don't care.
You get 6 months probation. Like,
yeah.
And I know they rage on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
When they're stupid, they should wait till the week after Super Bowl when they get hey. But the cops, listen, that's why they're cops and we're not. So they just that's where it was. So
What
there's
they
never
really
a
do is
downfall.
wait till March Madness.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they would always raid at times they're going to raid.
Yeah.
So you move the office from here to there.
Yep.
And they're banging empty doors. So
yeah.
that was the thing. And like you said, at that time, I didn't realize that I was under 18 hours or 18 months investigation, 24 hours surveillance.
Yeah.
I mean, they're outside watching me sleep. And I didn't know.
So, with multiple people.
yeah. With a whole, like you said, the guy in charge of the investigation on me is his wife. Well, I get their divorce now, but I'm just saying, like,
right.
So he can't know. So it's just a whole tangle. So I understand why they tried to railroad.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. Plus, too, I'll tell you, I feel like there's a lot of times like intimidation plays a role in that. Like you were an intimidating guy.
Well,
they were intimidated by even like the presence of you was intimidating.
Exactly. Yeah. Anywhere was so. And my attorney actually brought that up, and I understand that, but I didn't want to fight with them. Like to me, it was a game.
Yeah.
So once the game's over, it's over. Like you win.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm not telling. I'm not like that.
Right.
So let's figure out what my sentence is going to be fair.
Yeah.
It'd be fair. And I was like, listen, I owe time.
Right.
I owe time.
Yeah, man. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I got it. Right.
I don't think I would change anything. I don't regret any of it.
Right.
That's the thing. I learned so much. I lost 5 years. I never would have thought I'd done 5 years for what I got called. But at the end of the day, if I did 5 years, I learned a lot. And honestly, who knows where I would have been today if I didn't?
Bro.
Because, something could have gone bad on the deal. Like,
correct.
The game's not what it was. Now they're just killing you for nothing.
Plus, too, like you got out before the fentanyl got introduced.
Yeah.
You would be, dude. Yeah. Just even being around that. Yeah. Nightmare. That gets in everything, which is scary.
Listen, I was in Kensington the other day.
Bro,
Zombieland.
I have family. I used to work in K&A. I used to work on Allegheny and so I was on Allegheny between D and Kensington and the Ave, bro. One time, so my uncle had converted a row home into a tax office, right?
Okay.
So they had like a veranda window, you know what I mean, like this big front window. So I'm standing there looking out the window one day, and I see this white boy just come around the corner and head up towards the Ave, right? And he's hauling. I'm like, what is he running? Like, and he wasn't no put together guy. You know what I mean? Like he was running, and then all of a sudden I see like 6 dudes behind him chasing him. And I was like, oh shit. I ran outside. He like made it, got to the Ave, got on the train, got away. I was like, damn, this is. But bro, one of the things like as much as K&A is crazy, it's nuts like how accepted the drug culture is there, where it's like it's Zombieland.
Yeah, Zombieland, man. It's scary. Like you don't want your kids there anymore. Like I don't even want to drive there. And that's the thing. The
only thing I would take them there for is to show them like you don't want
this. Is what you don't want to happen.
This is where you'll be.
And that's in school. That's exactly what they should. They should take
field trip
once a month.
Take them to Needle Park. Let them know.
You want to act up. This is what turns out.
You think Perks is fun? Yeah. This is where you're headed. Every time.
They've never been punched in the face. No. And that's the thing. With kids nowadays, they should see all that. And that's the big thing with us. So, my son as well. Thanksgiving, we start at 4 a.m. Mm-hmm. We serve the homeless shelters on the way to Atlantic City.
Nice.
So we call them up the weeks before. We get everything ready.
Yeah.
So we drop food off to them. Then we go to Atlantic City, and a lady owns her bagel shop for us.
Nice.
She makes 200 sandwiches.
Golly.
We feed people there. Then we get another breakfast and serve the women's shelter in Atlantic City.
Dude, that's incredible.
Because we like to get back, at the end of the day.
Yo,
So
next time you do that, let me know, because I would love to be involved.
Yeah, so we did last year. I did it with my ex at that time, and we're driving around in a brand new Escalade, handing out both things, breakfast sandwiches to everybody. Just pull up. She was doing so. It's a great thing, but I think kids should be involved in that.
Yes,
because they got to see like what the other world lives like.
Yeah, and like also realize how incredible they have it.
Yes,
like
people don't understand how good it is now. Right?
Oh, bro, it's the best. It's the best it's ever been.
No, yeah.
So nice. Okay, so you end up getting locked up, right?
I get like 9204. I get raided.
Okay,
that's when I got raided.
Okay. So September 2nd, 2004.
Yes.
Okay, got it. You get raided. Man, so 89 was the first one, and so you're over like almost 15 years.
Yeah, that's 14. Yeah.
So okay, so you get raided, and like what do? They got you at a gas station or something? Right?
Oh no. So I'm running back. Okay. I don't know. I'm under investigation this time. I'm coming from a gym in Washington Township, which everybody knows where it is, and I'm down south a little further. It's only 20 minutes away, but I still went to the gym there because I was living in that area. Okay. And I have 50,000 D-ball and 9 ounces of coke on me that I had picked up the 9 ounces from one of my partners at the gym.
Okay, got it.
So I'm driving down Friars Mill Road, which was the old back way to Philly from like down south further. Yeah. And I see a cop in an old Comcast building, and I'm in the Explorer at the time, windows down, jacked up and tank top and basketball shorts. I just left the gym. Yeah. So my ex was dating a cop at that time too. So I'm not thinking anything because at this time I've gotten complacent almost. Right. I know my paperwork's right. I know the law. Yeah. So
you're a victim of your own dominance in a way.
And the thing is, I'm not speeding. I put on cruise 50 mile an hour. I'm that asshole who's doing exactly 50 on every road.
Yeah.
But again,
smart.
I know.
Smart.
Yeah. So I see a cop car and I see him and I go by him, but I'm on the phone. You're not talking on the phone. That is before all these laws came out. And I see him pull out. I'm like, shit, Yeah. So I pull right over. He pulls out, turns lights on. I pull right over. I'm not giving anybody a hard time. All my paperwork is right. I hand it to him out the window. And he comes back almost later. And another car comes up on the side. Another car pulls up. I'm like, man, what's going on here? I know they can't. And I know I'm not dirty. Like I know they didn't. There's nothing here they can see. Yeah. And it's everything. I have a duffel bag in the back seat, and they can't get in there. So he comes back with my paperwork. He says, "Get out of the car." No, he asked. He said, "How's your record?" I said, "My father's attorney is perfect." Yeah, it's being a little dicky, and I'm all jacked up. And so he comes back to the car and he says, "Get out of the car." I was like, "No, for what?" Yeah. And he reaches. I have my seatbelt on. He reaches through the car, tries to pull me through.
And this is
big, like yes.
What is he thinking?
So it's a Sergeant O'Brien.
This guy had a thing for like.
Well, his company, his department was one of the cops who were listening to the phone calls. Oh. So what he did, he got a hard on. It was he thought he had me. Yeah. It was gonna make this for this little shitty city. Yeah. Oh, we got this big dude off the street. He almost blew the whole rate. Yeah. So instead, I put it in drive. So I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm not speeding. I'm on the phone. I call Michelle. I'm working for a time. I'm like, hey, listen, I might not make it to that, to work. And she's like, I said, well, I'll talk about it later. Yeah. I order flowers for this other chick. Right. As I swear, what are you going to do?
This is the game.
It's the game. Yeah. And I'm not speeding. So the cops are following me and I'm not speeding. Right. I'm doing 50 mile an hour.
Do they have the blinkers going?
Oh, yeah.
They're like in pursuit.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So as I'm going down into Franklinville, which is like this little bumble, town.
Yeah. Backwoods Jersey.
Yeah. So there's Route 4, the main road that goes like to the shore to the Delaware. Mm-hmm. So I get to that road and there's cops like pulled, like cutting me off. Mm-hmm. I go, they have their guns out. Now they could have shot me. Dude. I go right around them, not speeding, just 5 mile an hour over the curb, get back on the street. Yeah. Stop at the stop street, put my blinker on. Yeah. Right. Pull on the Route 40. Well, as I pull on the Route 40, I go by the Franklinville Police Department. Okay. There's 50 cop cars lined up lights. I'm like, yeah, damn it, this ain't gonna be good. No. So as I'm going around the bends, though, I'm unloading, I'm taking the stuff out of the bag, and I'm throwing the bags out the window so they can't get the bag. So I have the product on me.
But like, it would be possession with intent if you had the bag, right? Okay.
Well, no, I wouldn't even that. It was just a bag. So there's like in 3 plastic grocery bags.
Oh,
I want to get rid of the extra bags because I know I'm going to the water.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
So I have the Ziploc bag with the Coke in it, and I have a big pound. I call it like the big bags of my bags with
Yeah.
the 50,000 pink D-balls.
Oh, okay.
The stop signs back then.
Got it.
So I throw everything down my pants and my shirt, tuck my shirt in, and I make a right, pull my around and go right to this lake.
Yeah.
Pull up next to the lake, get out of my truck as they're all pulled in, get in the water, dump it out, right? Lily pads, fucking fish. And then I'm underwater, I float the bag so they don't come up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so they get out of the car with all their long guns. I'm like, you got me. I win. You win.
But you don't have no pride because everything's
gone.
dissolved. Yeah.
Everything's gone.
Like you can have some excited fish.
Yeah. Listen, I got charged for killing fish by that. There's no dead fish are in there.
Yeah, I judgment the wildlife.
I did. I swear to God, for killing some fish.
They tried to pick you with every little gimmick. Okay.
So I get up, then they whoop the shit out of me. So I'm hauled.
What is there, like 10 of them? 15?
Oh no, way more.
The whole everybody.
The state police and the
whole.
Yeah,
so they got everybody.
40 people there.
Oh.
But they hauled. So they handcuff me behind my back. I'm jacked up. They end my feet. They tie my feet.
Oh.
I'm on a picnic bench.
Oh.
Stomach down.
Oh.
They're pulling the top of my hair, emptying tear gas in me.
Dude.
Right? Just like you want to fucking run with your chemically enhanced arms.
Yeah.
So, and I should have known then, like,
They said that.
I swear. It's a classic line. I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
So
Chemically,
I'm like, I can't breathe. You know, I'm tired.
in your face though, right?
One can wet. This motherfucker's shaking the next. Give me another can. I'm like, dude, I can't even go anywhere.
Yeah.
So they put me back in the car. I was like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, just I can't breathe.
Yeah.
And it's just not nice.
No.
The tear gas is not nice.
Dude, you were. It's not like you were throwing punches at him. You were like,
take
hey,
me, you win.
Yeah.
All right, listen.
Take me
I
the
grabbed
lily
something.
pads. Everything. Yeah.
I'm coming out smelling like swamp water.
Yeah.
So I get to the police station, and the chick's hot. So I'm hitting on her.
Hey, man, the juice is still flowing.
She's still going through. So I'm hitting on her.
Yeah.
And she's
Okay.
Yeah. I smell like dirty swamp water. I'm trying, let me take you dinner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what an asshole.
Yeah. No, hey, come on, man.
Yeah.
Plus,
So,
you're like you're cocky because
Cocky
I'm gonna
as
get
fuck.
out of this. They
And
don't
I
got
did.
nothing.
and they didn't, you know.
Yeah.
So in my truck, I had two phones, one for work and one for play.
What, the Nokia brick?
Do you remember? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Indestructible.
Yeah. So I had these phones. So they're like, "Do you want to call?" So they said, "Bail 50,000." I said,
Okay.
"What's the fast here? Someone bailed out."
Yeah.
The little bumblefucks.
Yeah.
So I call
Ass.
this girl. Yo, pick up, take 50,000. I'll say, come get me.
Yeah.
Okay, no questions.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
Was it Michelle you called?
yeah.
Okay.
In the meantime,
Ryder.
yeah, right. And she doesn't know any better. The thing is, she doesn't know any better. She doesn't know why
She
I'm
don't
there.
need to know.
But
She don't care, right?
She don't care. Listen, he needs
Ryder.
it. It's it. Yeah. So she does that. She brings it, but they give my phone back.
Yeah.
Right. And they're like, "Do you want to use our phones?" I was like, "Well, use my phones." Like, I'm trying to think it's safe.
Yeah.
Well, I'm an idiot. They have my phones tapped. They want to see what else going on.
Yeah.
So that was one.
Well,
of the things.
also Patriot Act, right? Because it was post 9/11.
So that's how they come to find. So then 2 weeks later, I get raided at my house.
Okay.
But I don't think it's a big deal.
All right.
I think it's from running from the cops. Like they might have heard something or something.
Yeah.
And my house was clean that time.
Yeah.
But in the paperwork, the Patriot Act is what got them to 24-hour surveillance. They never undercover sale. They didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But they classified me as a terrorist.
Oh.
You know, under the page back then when it first started, it was real loose.
No.
So that's how
anybody anything.
It's anything.
Yeah.
So that's how they got the phone tap
Okay.
on me. Is the Patriot Act.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if it wasn't for Bin Laden, but again, listen, it was probably better happening because I'm better now than I was
Dude,
then.
I'll tell you, my dad would say sometimes, like, I would get in trouble at school or something. He would say, like, look, you messed up, but he would tell you, I was like, dude, it's a cry for help in a way. Like, this kid doesn't want to be doing this, but he needs someone to point him in the right direction. Right. So in a way, like, you were kind of like, you knew at 32 you wanted to be done, and I'm sure it had been in your mind before, like, I wish I didn't do this sometimes, right? Like, was it that ever there?
No. It really wasn't. The thing is, because it had become just a lifestyle, so I was just used to it.
Yeah.
So I think more, not like I should, like, eventually I'm gonna get in trouble. How much trouble do I want to get in?
Okay.
Like, how do I minimize, what I'm going to get in trouble for?
Okay.
So that was, I think, my biggest thing, because I had some real close run-ins, and it's just like, like if you're on the phone and you swerve and you hit the sideline, you're like, fuck, I'm not fucking my phone ever again. And then 2 minutes later, you're on your phone.
Right.
So it was that kind of thing. So,
yeah,
like I said, I got complacent and it got easy.
Yeah.
Because at that time, I wasn't really even touching it.
Yeah.
Everybody was doing it for me.
Yep.
So it was just, like, I just knew I was going to get out because I had enough. I still hate drugs this day. Hate drugs then.
Yeah.
And listen, I had this kid that ended up telling on me, but he was going to have everything for free.
Yeah.
Just like, listen, you want to do that, you do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. So what did they ended up charging you with?
So I had like 30 different charges. I don't know what they all were. I mean,
What
I
were
said
the
killing
big-
fish, but I had a kingpin charge,
Damn.
which is 25 to life. I had a bunch of first degree. I had eluding. I had leader of organized crime, bookmaking. I mean, so they're the main ones that
So
we're
you
looking
almost
at.
got like RICO or whatever.
Well, I had RICO.
Okay.
RICO
okay.
too.
Okay. All right.
So I originally got charged by the feds. They raided me, but the state took them that day to court because they had been on me for so long and they could get more time.
Because they had more stuff.
Right.
Got it. Okay.
So there's so many people involved in the investigation that the
Are they
Fed,
still allowed to charge you with certain things?
Well, the
state?
Fed-
Okay.
number one, if in Fed, the first charge for powder cocaine is a sliding scale 10-year max. So there's really not a kingpin charge in Feds
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
It's a sliding scale for powder cocaine.
Okay.
Jersey kingpin is 25 to life.
Yeah.
RICO is another one where the feds have that, but it's hard for them to prove that where
Yeah.
it's not. It's a state, not near
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
So that's where we came in. So RICO, actually, I did. Yeah, I got charged with RICO.
Yeah.
I got everything they could do. Like I said, they had 30 charges.
Damn. They just threw
Everything
the
they
whole
could.
book, whatever. Okay.
Mhm.
So, all right. So then what ends up happening where you made a deal, right? Like,
Right. So I know I was never I never said I didn't do it.
Right.
But I never said I did it.
Right.
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 But listen, you got me. Like
Right.
it was done.
yeah.
So I hired a couple different attorneys and I hired a local attorney because I had my Philadelphia attorney Saul. He's the one that originally started. He's like, listen, hire a local attorney because they can negotiate with this bumblefuck
Yeah.
Cumberland County.
Yeah. They know
prosecutor. They know, and they scratch you in the back all the time.
Yeah. They know
We-
who to ask to kiss
Right.
and all that.
And if you come in from Philly, a big time attorney, they're gonna look at you like fuck you.
Oh, city slicker.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
So I hired a local attorney. And I'm talking to him like, listen, I'm not. I'll fight it. I don't think you have anything. And at that time, I didn't know I was getting told because
Damn.
the kid that told me, Keith Rossetti,
Yeah.
I had paid for his attorney in Philly.
You paid for him to get an
The
attorney?
yes.
What?
So because I wanted, so that's it's the way I think. I wanted to know what was happening.
Right.
So I
Right.
wanted the inside scoop.
Right.
So
Smart.
come to find out, he takes the money and goes to some bullshit guy that makes a plea deal for him to testify against everybody.
What was Rossetti's role in the business?
He would take 4.5 to 9 ounces a week
Mhm.
for his own thing. Plus, he was my do everything else we need to do.
Okay.
So he had his own little faction here of his people.
Yeah.
But then he handled my other stuff too.
Okay. Alright.
So he was involved in that part. He's
Yeah.
my best friend. Kind of, we'll say
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
And,
Damn,
but he was.
that's
I should
tough.
have known. He was very emotional his whole life.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just soft as baby shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
once you get it, I mean, they put him in the cell and he crumbled.
listen,
right?
they didn't even have to put him in a cell. They put him in handcuffs, and he told. So you can put the link on the thing. In his testimony, he testified. He drove around with the cops for 60 hours and told on everybody, not just me. Things I didn't know. Like I have no. What do you do with the feds for 60 hours?
Yeah.
So he only got charged with second-degree crime,
Okay.
and even though he did all that, he still got the same second-degree crime. He didn't get a deal. So I mean, they're the things like people don't think of. And like you said, so I came home, I bought a house next to him. So actually 3 houses next to him.
Nice.
Like,
Yeah. Good.
So
Stick it to him.
yeah, just it's the point. Like, and I get out and I see, he was like, well, God made me do it. God made you do it.
Yeah. But God didn't tell you to
God
do
didn't tell
it.
like I didn't make you sell drugs. You did that yourself.
Yeah. You were happy to sell when you were making some boatloads of cash. Yeah.
And you're not happy when now you
You got to pay the price.
Right.
Okay. So then, all right. So you get convicted, right? And
well, I plead that.
okay.
So my attorney's called me. He's like, listen, here's what we got. We can go to trial. Trial's going to be 5 or 6 years out. You have 16,000 hours of recorded phone calls.
Joe.
At trial, we have to go through almost every one of them.
Joe.
And it's going to cost you $500,000 to $1 million.
Jeez.
I'm like, man, but I said, I'm not just saying, I know what they're saying. Half the shit they're saying is false.
Yeah.
The other shit, if you can't beat him in court, then you stay.
Yeah.
You know, because I know who the other players are and things like that. So he calls me one day, and I remember I was sitting at Gino's in Philly.
Oh, Gino Steaks.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
So I'm there because I played softball right there. And I
Oh,
was hitting
cool.
home runs.
Oh, by Passion.
Yeah.
All right.
So we hit home runs out of Capitola right into Gino. Into
Oh, you were right there. Okay,
So-
nice.
he's like, we got a deal. I was like, I don't want a deal. I didn't want a deal. He's like, here's what it is. And it was 20 years with a 5-year step, which means I had to do at least 5 years and give up 550,000 or something, or what, I don't remember what the number was of like shit, like car, cash, watches, and this shit. So like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
But now this is only 6 months in. But I'm ready to go to prison.
Okay.
Because I know I'm going.
Yeah.
So I don't want to.
Mentally, you're prepared.
I mean, I'm just like, listen. Yeah, I know what's happening. Why put this off another 5 years?
Yeah.
Get comfortable again, because now you're fucking my life up.
Yeah.
Because in between,
would you have to wait? Would you have to be inside while they're waiting for trial? Or
no.
Okay.
No. I was out. But before that, we were talking. So about 2 months after I got out the first time.
Okay.
Let me take you that story real quick.
All right.
I'm driving down the road and I see one of those Malibus behind me.
Okay. Yeah.
So I pull into the gas station. This is when I still had payphones. I pull in the gas station, tell dude fill it up. I walk over to the payphone and call my father. Like, Dad, don't follow me again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just pull it. All of a sudden, they're popping over the curbs.
Boop, boop, boop. Yeah.
I mean, they're coming like I'm a terrorist.
Yeah.
What the?
Yeah.
Right. Get on the ground. I'm like, what? Well, like, what did I do now? So they take me to the barracks, state police barracks. State police get me, and they charge me with a 4th degree tampering evidence. 4th degree.
What?
With $100,000 or $200,000 cash only bail.
Oh.
So what they're trying to do is they're trying to break my pockets.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Evan, what are you talking about? Well, when I was in prison the first time, I had called my daughter's mom and said, listen, that's when hush mail. So I would get my steroids from Arizona.
Okay.
And I get everything through online.
Okay.
Like, they didn't have a thing, but an email back and forth. That's how, he'd send me the Western Union name. So I know I had all this in my thing.
Nice.
Why didn't want them getting that?
Right.
So I called, I was like, Jeanette, on a recorded call, I'm like, Jeanette, listen, I need you to go on my email and delete it. But I gave the wrong password.
Nice.
So hush mail back then, if you put the wrong password 5 times, it's like the Apple iPhone, it's automatically delete. So it was untracked.
So good.
So I mess up the password.
Yeah.
So I know they're listening.
Yeah.
And she goes on,
dude,
and they delete it.
That's pretty fucking slick.
Well, I can't. It's like I busted again.
Well, I mean, but still, like, how? I mean, like, you told her the thing, right? Like, how can they correlate that? Did you like because you said to delete it?
Yep. And that's what they tried.
So if you would have just said like, "Hey, can you check my email?"
It would have been totally different. Am I getting it wrong? But I said delete because I wanted them to go on.
Yeah.
And I wanted them to put the code in too.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure she.
So you
3 times say this wasn't right. You know
yeah.
So I know they would try.
Yeah. So they gave her. So you gave her the wrong code intentionally, knowing that they would put it in, like they were listening because they tapped your phone. So when they would put it in, it would delete everything.
After the
you'd be smooth sailing,
and they wouldn't get my connection out. I was trying to protect my connection.
Right. Which you ended up.
Which I did.
Yeah.
So.
But if you would have said just check instead of delete,
I might not have got that. But you never listen. The way they twist it,
right.
You don't know. And I'd rather be safe because nobody else should get in trouble for what I did.
Right.
And I still feel that way.
Yeah.
So we so that was in the middle. So I get arrested for that. I go to jail again.
Mm-hmm.
Then another month and a half later, I'm at my bar I'm working, and my co-defendant comes in, shakes my hand. Well, I have no contact with my co-defendants. So they sent him there. Now I come out later. They sent him there.
They did that on purpose.
So I get locked up again.
Yeah.
So I get raided September. This is December over Christmas. I'm back in the county jail.
Yeah.
Because they want to break me. Like
because it's your birthday too, right?
It's my birthday. So Christmas, birthday. I'm in the county. Then I bail out. They finally give me a bail. So
plus county was the worst.
And it was just a problem. Like I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Make
like,
me a deal.
We're doing this or not? Yeah.
So trial's gonna take a long time. Make a deal where I'm gonna be home. I'm good. And I didn't know if I knew then what I know now, I never would have took the deal.
Right.
Just because you hear 20 with a 5, you're gonna do 5. That's what I thought.
Right.
Well, as soon as you get in, you realize that 20 with 5s mean 5-year minimum. You have 20 years behind it. They can keep you in as long as they want.
Yeah.
And with a 20-year sentence, you don't get status in prison.
Oh,
because your back numbers, so they go by the back number. Oh. So if I had a 5 flat, you go right to min security.
Yeah,
I got a 20-year sentence. Oh. So I go to medium to max security because my back number is so high. Now I'm an escape risk.
Oh,
and again, so there are things that need to be done in the justice system, and I wish somebody would come and say, "Listen," because your attorney doesn't tell you that.
No.
Somebody that's been there on the street say, "Hey, listen, here's what you should do."
Yeah.
Here's your think about it. It's a good deal. However, as soon as you get in, this is what's going to happen.
Yep.
And I didn't know any of that.
Dude, I'll tell you, that's why it's so important. Like we've talked about with like Locked In with Ian Bick or Blood on the Razor Wire with Chad Marks. We had him on the show too. Great guy.
Very good,
Oh, awesome guy. Awesome story. But like those guys putting this type of information out there, invaluable. We're not saying commit a crime.
No,
but we're saying
sucks. 100%. You don't want to go.
No, but if you do, know this, right? Like, and that's the
important.
thing.
There's not a scammer. You need somebody not a scam or like these guys out there. Somebody's like legit going to say, this is good for you or it's not.
Yes.
Would know a good deal.
Yes.
Yep.
So nice. Okay. So eventually they get you, right? Okay. So you ended up you take the 5 to 20.
So
5 of the
I
20.
plead out a 5. So I called my attorney back. I was like, Mike, listen, here's what it is. You got to get Michelle off.
Yeah.
She did nothing wrong.
Yeah. And they were going to charge her with Kingpin.
They charge her with Kingpin.
Oh.
This girl's never seen a drug in her life. Like she's never even done a drug. Like
right.
She never seen. She didn't know anything. Like she's she lived in
total
a bubble,
noodle. Yeah.
Just goofball.
Yeah.
She would. And
innocent though.
Innocent as can be.
Yeah.
I mean,
and didn't she have a kid?
She had a kid. She lost her kid to her ex-husband, who they called. Somebody from the prosecutors actually called her ex-husband the night before and said, "Listen, we're raiding her. We're arresting her.
Dude,
go get the kid."
Dude, no.
Which is fucked up. You know what I mean? So the whole game was messed up. But again, she did nothing wrong, and she's getting problems. So I said, if you make the deal, here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
If you make sure in the case, I want to say she's dismissed.
Got it.
And I'll handle everybody else.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah. So they're like dismiss her. Good. You took the heat, everything like that. So then you get the 5, mandatory 5, maximum 20. Right. So where do they send you first?
So that's the thing. So I have people in the county. In the county jail, I'm learning, I'm talking to different guards I know and things like that in the county.
Yeah.
In the county at that time, you still have your own clothes, certain clothes.
Yeah.
So I wanted my own clothes and I wanted to make sure I didn't sit in county too long.
Right. You don't, that's where they break you.
Yeah, because it's day for day. So when you get to state, it's like, you get good time right away.
Yeah.
In the county, if you stay in the county for a year, you only get a year off your sentence. So I paid a guy that did at that time, the transportation to pick whose name to leave when.
Oh, nice.
I paid him before I went in with a bag of clothes.
Nice.
So there's cash and I left the bag closed at the door. He picked it up. I get a sentence. As I get sentenced, they lock me up with the kid that told on me in the holding cell to go to the county jail.
Did they do that on purpose because they wanted to charge you with assault?
Yes.
Okay.
And they wanted to start off bad. And so me, listen, I'm bigger now. I'm gonna get you, but it doesn't have to be today. It can be 20 years down the road.
Right.
Listen, I'm not gonna.
Dude, a punch in the face is enough, but I'm gonna get you where it really hurts.
Yeah, and so beating you up now, you're gonna recover.
Right.
And I'm gonna do another 3 years.
Yeah. And they take away all. Yeah.
And
and you go right in the hole and all that.
You're done.
Yeah.
So this was the first day they blocked me up with him. So they get me out of there. They put me in the county. I'm only in the county probably a week, week and a half. And from there you go to Craft, which is the reception in Trenton.
Okay.
Well, that's when it started to get like real.
Yeah.
Because you're on this bus with a whole bunch of dirty dudes and
filthy.
Half of them are crying. All these big gangsters in there crying. So I'm like, all this, you talk all this rah-rah shit. Now you're crying,
yeah.
But we get in there.
Blood out bullshit.
Yeah. We get to there and it's cold. And you take your clothes off. You go up a stair step, dick to ass, all the way up. Like the cops are pushing you right.
Everyone's naked.
Everyone's naked. So you take all your stuff off in the county, and they walk into this big shower, probably the size of this ring, by 50 guys, and they spray you. They spray this with
50 guys in.
Oh yeah.
This is a 12 by 12. So in a 12 by 12 foot radius, you have 50 guys naked jam packed, and then they get a hose out.
They get a hose and spray you with this brown bug juice.
Yeah.
It's like milky brown. It's just and they spray you that, and if they spray you, they just take this hose and they're just spraying.
Yeah.
You get out, they put you in paper soup for 3 days, so that while it works.
Okay, all right.
And they put you in holding.
And you're not showering for this.
No, you don't shower.
You have to let the
boat. Yes.
Oh.
So that's what I'm like when I'm walking up the steps. Like, man, this shit's real now.
Like you're thinking like it's gonna be kind of like like the Italians get in there.
Yeah, listen, I'm trying to research.
We're gonna be slicing garlic with the razor.
It wasn't like that at all. Like that's bullshit.
Yeah, for sure.
But we got there. I did that. So they have 20 cells, I think, per wing, and there's TVs on each end.
Okay.
And I think I was number 11 cell. I couldn't watch TV. They freeze your balls off in there, like there's the windows open, And at that time, I went in prison. I was 312 pounds and about 16% body fat. I'm losing a pound a day because they're only 1,200 calories.
You're burning so many calories. And you, like, to be fair, like, before you went in, you wanted to get big as well.
I took every steroid I possibly had, found, or bought.
Yeah.
I didn't care if it went together. I just, I pumped myself with everything because, like I said, I want to go on a monster.
You hear the stories.
Yep.
Bro. Yeah.
And that's the thing. So I go in big, like even in holding the county, dude's like, what do you got 15 years in? Like I was just jacked up. You know what I mean? Because you got to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got there, we got in, and the first thing we'll do is write to people, which I don't know why that goes over your head, but the first thing we'll do is like, I want to tell everybody I'm okay.
Yeah.
So I have a picture, and like if you Google me, like with my thumbs up when I'm walking in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not being yes, it's being a dick because I'm a dick. But it's more like to my people. Yeah. Like I don't care. Don't worry about me. I'm good. Yeah. So people see the smile, like you're an asshole. No, I'm just telling them like I'll be all right. I'll be home.
Yeah.
I'll be home.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about me. Like let me make sure you're okay.
Strong. Yeah.
So that's where that comes from.
Yeah. So okay. So then you go through craft. Yep. And then where do you end up after craft?
So craft sends me to Bayside, which is in Cumberland County. There's three prisons in the county I lived in.
Oh, okay.
So which is good for me. I mean, I'm home. I'm right there. I mean, it's easy for everyone to get to.
Everyone can stop up.
And I'm there not even a week or so, and I'm getting into the gym there, and I know I know 80% of the cops.
Okay.
And I'm there, and I get a call early in the morning, like 4 a.m. Like, you got to leave. Like, what do you mean? Like, you know more people than me. The chief. Damn. Or the captain. I mean, the captain.
Captain of the
CEO. I was like, okay. That's dangerous for us. So they put me in a bus, and from there, they take me to Southwoods, which is a newer prison in Cumberland County. And I don't get out of the bus. I'm sitting in the van. Out of the van. I say bus, it was a van.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in the van. A lieutenant walks out through the train station. He says, "What's he doing here?" And they're like, "Well, we're supposed to bring him here. He can't come." Yeah. So I'm like, "What?" This is a new prison, has air conditioning. Like you hear, like it's not a bad prison.
Yeah.
I mean, not for prisons. I mean,
right. Well, it's a newer one.
It's a newer. Right.
If you're gonna be in prison, you want to be in an updated one for sure.
And he's like, "Do you want to tell the guys that were calling you?" So they had so many phone calls.
Yeah.
That I was doing bad
before you got there.
Yeah. That when I was bad, then I wouldn't cooperate with the prosecutor and tell them who was calling. So they're like, "Do you want to tell us?" Because they had 31 different individuals calling that I wouldn't.
Golly.
So they couldn't do anything. Yeah. So they're like, "He can't go here. He's not allowed." So I didn't even let me out.
Like, we're not letting him have the nice place.
No. Yeah. So they sent me to Riverfront, which at Riverfront at that time was for like lifers, like 20 years of better.
Is that the one in Camden?
In Camden, they tore it out. But that's where there was like, the long term.
People don't realize Camden is rough.
Oh, Camden's rough.
Camden is like, Philadelphia was #1 in the country in murder rate for a long time. Camden was #2.
Oh yeah, and a lot
and they're a lot. Yeah, it's a quarter of the size.
And what sucked about Riverfront was I had a condo at Dockside, which is on the water, right on Delaware Avenue.
Okay,
and I can look from my cell to my condo every day. Like, you want to talk about torture? Dude. Like,
you're just like, oh, please.
But Riverfront was good. I mean, I say good for it was okay.
A lot of lifers, though, right?
A lot of long term. But the thing is, they're good because they
don't want no bullshit. Yeah.
But you also had a lot of sex offenders, and there was that priest there. I can't remember what his name was. Big case, huge case, where a priest had his wife killed, and the guy.
I know what you're talking. I don't know his name, but I know what you're talking.
Yeah, the guy, he was there.
Yeah,
but he told on everybody.
Yeah.
So what Riverfront had was all the sex offenders and all the bad, like I say, the worst charges rather than drugs and gambling.
Mm-hmm.
The sex offenders or the women beaters and things like that.
Yeah,
they were protected because they told what was going on in prison. So you couldn't do anything because
they were like the prison rats. Yeah,
that's it. So there was no code there.
No. But I mean, like, because the lifer's like, look, I just want to have good quality. Like, my life sucks, but at least I'm gonna get my ice cream and like all the bullshit.
They want to just be comfortable. That's it. Like, leave everybody alone.
They're sick of having them boots in the shower.
Yes, right. And that's the thing. Like, they want to be at a point where they're not stressed out.
Right.
Because it can stress you. Oh. It's definitely not a fun thing.
No, God no. Okay. So you're in Riverfront. How long are you there? Because you would leave there too.
So this
is all within what? Like a couple months?
This is probably the first year.
Okay.
Of
so you've been in 3 different prisons.
Oh
within the year.
Let's call it 14 months altogether. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I as soon as I get to Riverfront, I get a job as a teacher's aide.
Nice.
Because 90-some% of the prisoners can't even read or write, which is terrible. That's the first thing you should make you do, like get out. So I get a job with civilian teachers, Aiden. You know, I'm doing, and I'm like making spreadsheets for them. Like, you know, I'm doing, you know,
because I know how to work a computer.
Yeah, I knew, like, so they're used to having idiots, you know. So I'm like the star or whatever. So
they're like, oh my God, he reads, he writes,
and
he knows how to use a computer. Don't get rid of it.
And like, oh, we know who he is, and you know, that's what. So, which is cool. So, but prisoners get jealous.
Yeah.
So they just drop slips, and you're doing this and doing that. So I get the guys.
The teacher you had was a female.
Female,
right?
Correct.
Okay. So you were a teacher's assistant to a female teacher,
female civilian teacher
in a prison.
Yes.
And
so we start having a good relationship.
You get friendly.
We get friendly. We're cool. We're cool.
Right, yeah.
So I still have people on the street doing things like, you know, some bets here and there, not bets, but like loans. Like I don't, not for me, but I know what they're still doing.
Right. Yeah. And they're coming, like you're still in the mix.
Know, right.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, you know, your Jake, who was her husband at the time, you know, just got a loan, blah, blah, blah. So she's, you know, every day crying about him, hating him and this and that. So I'm like right in the middle of everything. I'm like, this is tough.
Yeah.
So,
and you're giving advice like, well, you know, what he should do is
listen, and you know, they're crying about money. I was like, well, he shouldn't be taking loans and you know, so it's just, it was bad.
Yeah.
And they didn't have any money. She didn't have any money.
Plus, too, like, so I'll say this. I used to work at a restaurant where it was like a lot of guys worked there. And like it was in a hoity-toity area, which means like a lot of rich couples came in there, but not a lot of like dimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if 6 came in, she was automatically bumped to an 8.
Right?
You ain't seen no.
Yeah.
You know. So you're in Riverfront. So even if this teacher's a 4, she's a 9.
She's a 12. Yeah, absolutely.
True.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then she wasn't an ugly chick at all, but she wasn't. I mean, if I looked at her, I probably won't fire. But
No, but back then it was,
like,
dude,
listen,
did Madonna just walk in?
I don't. So
yeah,
I get Riggs was the internal affairs, so I get a thing. They come myself, like lock me up. I'm like, what the fuck?
What is going on?
Like, what could I have done already? Like, what could I have done?
Yeah, I just got here,
and they're like, what do you know about this teacher? Blah blah blah. I was like, nothing. Why? Like, well, we got your DNA on the desk. I was like, not mine.
What? Whoa. They're saying that they swabbed for
DNA on the desk. They asked me if I kept hooking up with this teacher.
Oh my God.
I was like, they told me that's like that wasn't me.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, nah, you don't have anything.
Yeah, because we weren't on the desk.
It wasn't that desk, you fucking fool. Yeah. So I get locked. I see her getting walked out.
Fired,
done. Which was probably a blessing because she got a great job now.
Yeah.
And
you still in touch with her?
I checked on her. As soon as I came out, I checked to make sure and I actually got her a job.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then she's moved to Arizona until
she's still with the husband.
No, listen, as soon as I went down.
Yeah.
I'm in lockup 72 days because I won't cooperate. So she actually
in
got
the whole 70?
In the hole. Three showers in 72 days.
What?
Yes. So I can't get out because they called it under investigation. Like the rules changed.
Dude,
under investigation.
No. Wow.
So that was rough. And if there was a rough prison time, by far, that was the worst. Because I was counting the dots in the cinder blocks.
Bro.
I was counting the dots.
Dude, I'll tell you, that's like a nightmare. Legit a nightmare, right? It's like, dude, that's tough.
It's tough. And like you said, if you're under investigation, they have these rules where they don't have to do shit for you.
Yeah. They can legit just say go fuck off, right? Yeah.
I mean, you're just, you're done.
That's tough.
So I was in there and they kept coming to me every few days. You want to talk about it? Yeah. And I was like, dude, there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know.
I wish.
I was like, I got nothing to tell you. Like, well, we don't, we have your DNA. We're going to charge you with this and charge her. I was like, hey, listen, I guess I'll see you in court. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. So I get out of River, the 72nd day. I'm sorry, about 15 days before I write a letter to Rick, what I talked about before my stepdad.
Okay. Yep.
I've never thought about suicide in my life. I don't give a fuck how bad the day is. Tomorrow's another day.
Right.
And if I can't fix it today, I'll fix it tomorrow.
Right. Great. Yeah.
And, so I don't ever don't affect me for a long time at all. It could be the worst thing ever. I get over it, you know? So I wrote Rick, I was like, I don't know how long I can do this because I don't know what's happening.
That's the worst thing too. You don't know.
There's no end. And so I get a knock, then I got an attorney visit. Rick had took his own money, I think it was like $20,000, and hired Robin Lord.
Your stepfather did this.
Yeah. Who hired
what
Robin
a guy.
Lord, to make sure she came got me to make sure I got out.
What a guy!
So like he was, my mother wasn't going to do that. Now my mother would do whatever. She never had money.
Right.
So Rick took his own, so he paid this, this attorney 20.
Was your mom and Rick separated at this time?
No, they were back together.
Okay.
So yeah, they were together.
Nice.
So Rick, my mother usually made it with Rick every weekend, but Rick never missed a weekend. If my mom was sick or something, he would still come.
Yeah.
So
dude, that's incredible.
Oh yeah, like he said.
And and I'm not trying to be a dick, but your real dad did, right?
No, he was more my friend.
Right.
My dad was he was a dick.
Rick was your dad. Your dad was your boy.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah.
If something went on, I'm calling Rick first, and I'll tell my dad about it later.
Yeah.
And to this day,
still
like that.
But dude, shout out to Rick, man. That's awesome.
He stepped in large. I mean, so my mother, and this is off topic, but my mom married Rick once.
Mm-hmm.
She went through menopause, moved to Arizona. He moved her. I drove the moving truck.
Damn.
Got through menopause, came back and remarried her. And he married her. Like, you did this to yourself. Like, but that's just how much like a good dude he is.
Yeah.
Since high school, he's always loved my mother.
Hey, man,
so
the heart wants what the heart wants.
Yeah, bro. And so and he's still this day. So
nice. Okay.
He was there.
So shout out to him. He paid for Robin Lord. She came in. She's like, this stops now. Like this is abuse.
3 days later.
Yeah. So she gets you out of there. Then what happens?
So I get out of the hole and I go right to the bus.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, where are you going? They're like, Northern State. I was like, Northern State.
That's the worst one.
That's the worst one.
Yeah.
So there's a guy, there's even online, like people look up, Omar Bradway
Mm-hmm.
actually made a video from inside the prison with a cell phone. Yes. And then he made a documentary on like HBO or something. But I'm like, Northern State. Like, so they were running up my ass because I wouldn't help. Right. I'm just not cooperative.
They're like, oh, you don't want to be here? Fine.
You want me to tough?
Go. Yeah. So you think it's bad here?
Yeah. If you we'll make it easy here, you can go to Mid-State, which was like a camp, or you can go to Northern State. You tell me where you want to help us or not. I was like,
yeah.
So,
dude, so they're still trying to break you.
Oh yeah.
God. And this is over a year in.
Yep. Over probably 14 months. I mean, I had the police come in. The state police would come every few months to ask me about different cops that I dealt with. I'm like, I already have the sentence. Like, what are you doing? We're gonna make it easy for you.
I ain't gonna get out tomorrow, am I?
Yeah, like, what do you make it easy? I'm saying. So they finally gave up after 4 or 5 different trips. But so I get in and they take me to Trenton. It was Trenton first. I think it was Trenton where they did the Stallone to that movie.
Oh yeah.
And they put the track in there.
Yeah. Do you know he copied that off of Chuck Wepner, the boxer? Yeah.
Okay.
Chuck Wepner sued him because Stallone wrote Rocky, thinking of like because of Chuck Wepner. Then he wrote like 3 other movies that were inspired by Chuck Wepner. And he never made. Yeah. So all right, sorry. So you go to the Trenton intake, and then you're there.
Well, go to Trenton, and that's the scariest place I've probably ever been because it was I guess where reception was like an insane asylum at one time back in the day. So they put you in a cell. The ceilings are 6 foot.
Yeah.
And the toilet is the wall. You shit in the wall. So there's a hole in the wall. So I'm like, hold on. And I'm bending down because I'm 6'3".
Yeah.
I'm like, man, and it just smells like death.
Yeah.
So that's like a little therapy. So I'm there. I'm on the back of the bus. I'm like, I'm not going to Northern State because all you hear is between the cops, the gangs there, like it's just bad. Like you die.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna walk in, I'm punching the biggest dude I can see right in the face.
Yeah. Dude,
I'm getting out of here.
Like I'm surviving.
Yeah.
And to do that, I'm whacking the.
And I know for a fact though that they're going to give me more time, but I'm not. I might not make it out.
I ain't gonna be no bitch. Though.
That's it. Yeah. And so I get to Northern State and they steal all the cops are all gang members.
Yeah.
Because it's right in Newark.
Oh, so they're all the Bloods too then.
Yes. Okay. And that's the problem. The guy that runs the prison's a Blood. All the cops are Bloods, and I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get in, and they go through.
Do they let white guys Bloods?
Listen, they do because you see it, but
it's not right. It's not. Yeah.
Gangs are if they would put themselves together, they'd be great.
Yeah.
They want to fight each other. I hate gangs. I hate them.
Yeah.
And they just don't know how to. Don't fight each other. If you're Blood, you're Blood. I don't care what sex, money, murder.
Right. Yeah.
It's
all one. Yeah. Like you guys be running the whole shit.
They run whole state.
Yeah.
Those cops couldn't say a word to them. They're all still together, but they don't. So they're just. And I tried to fix it, not fix it. But I was like, listen, you ever think about this?
Yeah.
It just doesn't. They don't have that mentality.
Yeah. So okay. So you get up to Northern State, and then you walk in, and like you're nervous. Nervous.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not a nervous person. I always think whatever's going to happen, when I go out, I'm looking for every accident. If something goes on, who's the biggest dude here? I got to take out.
Right.
You know, I look for everywhere I go. But till today, like that's something that's in my head.
I feel like you have
all
the
the accidents and
mentality of
things.
like, there's guys that like for a fight, like like to the inspiration to a fight. Yours is more protection,
Yes,
in a way.
100%.
Like, that's your inspiration.
I
to
look
a
at
fight.
the biggest threat. So if we're here and there's 50, I'm looking to see who I see was the biggest threat.
Right, and it's not to protect your like at times protect yourself, but your real fight inspiration comes from protecting others. In a way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So, but you're in survival mode here.
Yeah,
you're walking in. So you head to Northern State. What like? Tell us what's
I
going
get through. They steal some of my stuff. You know, the cops do because I accumulated some stuff from running the football ticket in Riverfront.
Oh, nice. All right.
So I had, like you said, I had a lot of shit because, like I said, I ran the football ticket at Riverfront.
So you would take football bets and
so at Riverfront,
what were they paying you in?
So at Riverfront, there was 3 pods.
Okay.
And I would pay somebody to make they're about the size of a matchbook.
Okay.
It'd be 4, 5, 6, 7 picks.
Okay.
I put all the football games on there. They just circled,
Yeah,
the whole thing. And
everyone
then they hand
takes
them
the
back.
birds.
Yeah. And so and they pay like back then, buglers were $1. So it's $1 ticket. You can put Newports for $6 or 6 tickets.
Damn.
Food, it was $1. Where it was comparable to $1.
Yeah.
So nobody wins them. I mean, I might pay 10 out of 10,000.
Yeah.
But they love the
They wanted their rush. Yeah.
Right. For $1 bugler, they win 4 back if they win 4 picks. Like, it was a losing proposition if you thought about it.
Did you smoke? You didn't smoke, did you?
No.
Yeah.
But it was money.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I can make moves with everything I have.
So you must have just had a ton of your cell must have been commissary.
Well,
everywhere.
you can only have max, so I had max of everything. My bunkie had max. My bunkies never had to buy commissary.
Nice.
And then I had to pay people to keep it in theirs too.
Nice.
So that you that's where you learn how to move and here's 12 packs. You got max 12 packs Newports.
Yeah.
So I have 12 here, 12.
Yeah.
Here's 2 free for holding them.
Yeah.
Here's 2 free for holding, that kind of thing.
Okay. Nice.
So I had a lot of stuff, like the radio, I had a clear, at the end of they're not Walkman, but this little clear digital radio, the AM, FM.
Mm-hmm.
They stole all that stuff. Anything you couldn't get at Northern State, they took.
Oh.
So I walk in and I get through process in Northern State and I walk into a unit and I'm like, well,
this is where's he at? Let's find this mother.
Let's find. Let's have how crazy it is. It's quiet and there's 3 white guys sitting at the table, and I hear Yo Reilly, and it's Joey Massimino at that time. He was at one time supposedly the underboss of Philly Mob.
Yeah.
Known him. I know him Riverfront. Known him before.
Yeah.
Whole thing. As a matter of fact, when I went there, I think I owed him 2 packs of Newport because I think they took him out of Riverfront. I think I still owed him a couple packs of Newport because I think he bet a couple football games. And I never got to pay him.
Yeah.
So it's him.
But he knew you were good. Yeah.
He probably wrote me later like, you owe me 2 packs of Newport, break my balls between
Yeah.
So he's there. The cops let me in. I sit down. I got him right away. So I'm taking care of those 2.
So you're like,
I'm good now.
Love. Like you're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah,
right?
this is great.
Yeah. You're like, I'm with these guys are probably running the joint.
They're running it. So I get in the cell. So Mousy gets me to be his bunkie.
Nice.
And so I get on the top bunk, he's the bottom. And there's a railroad track behind that you can see through the window.
Okay.
We're there 2 weeks. All of a sudden they come in, they take both of us. What the fuck?
Yeah.
The federal or the district attorney found out we were together and thought we could make a way to escape. Now, I'm not fitting my ass through a fucking window this big.
Right.
You're not breaking out.
No.
So that's when I went to gang in Northern State, and they're like, I said, how can you say I go to gang unit?
Yeah.
With I had no gang charge.
Yep.
But I do have leader organized crime.
Right.
So that's how they got around it.
Dude, the paperwork will get you some shit. Dude.
So they're like, so I'm like, no. So you go in gang unit, and my asshole got tight. Listen,
dude, for sure.
And so I'm in there.
Anybody's would, man.
Yeah.
If you're saying you wouldn't, you're
they're
a liar.
Full shit.
Yeah.
When you have the head blood crying himself to sleep at night and you hear it, this is not okay.
Damn.
So I'm in there a year and a half, but every shower I took so you got an hour outside.
Yeah.
You're locked in 23 and 1.
Yeah.
Either shower or you go outside in the yard.
Yeah.
So it sucked. Gang unit sucked. It was all fenced, caged in, but the cops are dirty.
Yeah.
So even though it sucked,
you can still work your game.
You're right. I'm getting I have a cell phone.
All right.
They
you had a cell phone that quick?
Oh yeah, right away. I mean, I had a cell phone within 2 weeks.
Damn.
You know what cops and the cops know who you are too.
Right.
So if they know
coming in like
they looked at paperwork. So they, came to me, what do you need? The whole thing. I mean, listen, I'm watching at night. I see them dropping needles and shit into people's, so like they're that crooked.
Damn.
And so, and they would tell you like, listen, they're gonna run down tomorrow, and you hear everybody flushing.
Yeah.
You know how to break, so, and then, or they show you where to hide them.
Yeah.
So like in the lights, they had those safety screws, so you couldn't they would sell the pieces to cops, so you could take the light apart and hide shit in there.
Oh shit!
It's like $300 for these little pieces of thing that they were bringing.
So they were all
a tip because the cops would know that because you couldn't get it. You had to do it all at one go. So if you want to take all 20 screws out, they would sell you the tip. It was probably that long, and it went in like those screwdrivers that like the mechanical.
You can put different heads inside. Yeah,
they would say it's like $300. $300 for $1.
Yeah,
but the cops were doing it. I mean, that's just so. I got there and I got from there.
So that's what you were doing though? Like you would
I wouldn't do that. No, they would tell me I'd just break my phone and throw it away.
Okay. What other shit were you keeping there though?
So they would hide drugs in there. Like when they ran down, they found a pound and a half of weed.
All right. But like you didn't, so in the gang unit, in your mind, like, I don't want to step on anyone's toes.
No.
So you're like, I'm not going to run no weed or anything.
No,
like, yeah.
no.
Okay. Smart.
I would take some just single football bets from guys. Yeah. Like they, send a kite down the thing. Yeah. But I didn't want to, there was no need to.
Yeah. You don't want to ruffle each other.
Because now I have like 2.5 years.
20 on one that, whatever.
Yeah. Listen, like I said, I shower with boots on for a year.
Yeah.
Because that's when they get you they get you in the shower. Barefoot, wet, you're done.
Yeah.
But so at that time also, I have probably 2.5 years in, and I get status. Halfway through, I can get status.
Yeah.
So they take me to the men unit.
Okay.
And
hold on, real quick though, when you're in like Northern State, that's a violent place.
Violent. They're killing every day.
Like what kind of like awful shit did you see?
That's great. So I signed up for the gym, and this is before they took free weights out of the prisons.
Right.
Probably my third day in the gym, I see a guy is benching, and at that time most of the plates were welded onto the iron was weighted onto the bar.
Oh wow!
They got a 45-pound plate, and the guy was benching, and they took it and went from just took his head off from his eyes above, and it was just a puddle, and everybody just kept going like nothing happened. And the blood is just like a circle. So by the time the cops got there, this is what 12 by 10, you said? 12 by 12?
Yeah.
There was probably a 12 by 12 thing of blood. Dude was dead immediately.
The blood just shot out.
So everybody's laying on the ground because the cops are coming like ass.
Yeah. Like, all right, we ain't get,
In Riverfront, I saw a guy get his eye stabbed with a big pen. Walking up the steps, he got his eye and popped it out.
Oh!
But besides the guy get his head, the most disgusting thing I saw, there was a white Muslim kid that stole some canteen from somebody.
Sure.
So from another white kid, like a junkie.
All right.
So the junkie kid boiled cleaner. So with a hot pot back then, you had hot pots, and they would take them apart and wire them direct, so the thermostat would go also boil water.
Okay.
And there was probably a quart or 2 quarts, so that big, not big
for chi-chis and shit.
Yeah, for like soups and all that, and so. I saw him take the they went in his room, as soon as they got canteen, they took it. So this kid, they banged the doors. I see this kid walking out of his hot pot. The kid, the white kid, he fucking threw it on his face and melted the Terminator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he has like the red eye. You ever seen that picture?
Oh.
It melted his skin down and it was hanging here, and his shoulder bone, his collarbone was sticking out. So he put Babo, hair oil, and something else in there. And toothpaste. So when they threw it on him, it couldn't come off. It melted his whole face off.
Dude, the scream dude, that's
and listen, and like you said, his collar, but his skin was hanging off his face. So it was, and that was probably, I've seen a lot of fights, so a lot of people get raped, but that is one of the things I'll never forget, the sound of him screaming and just the look of the skin, like he had to die. Or they had to put skin back on his face, but boiling water with oil, not good.
Dude. Did anyone steal from that?
No. Well, that dude, they probably killed the kid probably.
Yeah.
But that's what he wanted. I mean, because it turned, they had to get him out right away. But as soon as they hear they did it, then they'll go get him. That's the thing. But it's one of those things, and that's the thing. I never got stolen from in prison.
Yeah.
But because I always had people there taking care of things.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that's the thing. They just once you're in with the worst of the worst and talented people, if that makes sense. There's such a range of people in there. That you don't realize it, but I mean, you have the worst of the worst in the world in prison.
Yeah.
But you also have guys that, like I said, have all this talent, just did it the wrong way.
Yeah.
And they're the ones you try to help, and just, sometimes just,
Dude,
drugs or something in their head.
Dude, honestly, man, the ingenuity that you see, like, just like, because we've had like a guy on the show that was away from murder and stuff, like, or second degree manslaughter and stuff, and like we had guys in here, and they would tell stories of like just the different things that you would do in prison, like with the toenail clippers and like putting the ends on that and sticking that in the and like, and then you'd heat up a box with what I'm like.
That's what I'm saying. Things I've never.
Genius.
I think
right?
I'm half intelligent,
right?
And these dudes are showing me shit. I was like, we have cell phones, and some people had chargers. We have chargers. So we had to order deep batteries off Canteen.
Okay.
They'd steal wire from somewhere.
Yeah.
They put this charger together for me so I could charge my phone up. Like, it's just,
genius.
Genius. I'm thinking, like, if I were on the side of the road, my phone doesn't charge.
Yeah.
Now I know what to do. So I'm like, so there's definitely a lot
these are the kind of guys when the world's end, they kind of know how to survive.
They're in here for stealing paper towels. If that's, what I mean? Like, just dumb shit.
Yeah. So, okay. So, damn, you do that. That's rough time in Northern State.
Northern State sucked.
Dude,
but I get to the menu, which wasn't bad.
Could I say, like, the fact that, like, seeing someone get raped isn't number one?
Yeah, no, that was probably number 4.
Oh!
Listen, and it was disgusting. The dude was screaming.
Yeah.
But when you see somebody's face get melted off,
that's number one.
That's
yeah.
And the eyeball popping down the steps is pretty disgusting.
And the weight on the head.
The weight on the head. The thing is, I saw it transpire. So
you saw the guy walking over.
I know exactly what's gonna happen.
What is he doing? And he had a 45. You said
45-pound plate.
God damn.
And that's what made him take the weights out of all the gym. That incident of all the prisons in New Jersey.
I mean,
but it sucks. But like I said again,
one guy ruined it for everybody.
Yeah. But that's the problem is they don't realize, that was uncalled for regardless. I saw a guy get killed in there, but they just beat death. They he had a BlackBerry in his ass and a charger. So a BlackBerry phone and a charger and they took it out of his ass.
Oh, after they beat him?
Yes.
Oh.
So you see that shit, it's like, And I went, listen, how do you get a BlackBerry? I don't know. I mean, but he's been boofing things for way too long.
Yeah. God damn. So, okay. So you do the Northern State, goddamn, and then you're like, get me.
So I get to Minden Camp, which was at Northern State. So I do a year and a half.
So you're saying at Northern State itself, like they have a bunch of different units,
right? So you have max, then you go to mid, and then you go to minimum security.
Okay, so minimum is where you ended.
That's the camp. So now that's dorms.
Okay,
and you have jobs.
All right.
So I got a job at Totowa, which is a mental health facility where they had like different cottages.
Okay.
And we would just supply, go to the supply house and supply everything.
Okay.
But they fed you well there. Like, so I had a good job there.
Yeah. And you're out and about. Listen, you're in society again.
You're with people.
It's not 23-1.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it makes me laugh because, that's where I have the, like the highway detail,
Okay. Yeah.
Well, these guys never had jobs in their life. And now all of a sudden they're crying because it's a fucking tornado out there and they want to go to work. I'm laughing like, dude, you never worked a day. You don't want to go to work before. Now all of a sudden you're crying. I'm going to work in the rain. Like, just remember that, man.
Yeah. When you get out of here and you have a job, you better not.
You better
don't ever call out. Yeah. So nice. Okay, so you're in the min unit, and you kind of like, did you develop a hustle in there too, or?
So it was football tickets there.
Okay.
Plus, we would
so you kind of took that with you
everywhere.
Okay, smart.
And I know how to do them. So in there though, the other hustle was working at Totowa. You could bring seasoning back.
Oh shit!
Because so we had
pickles and
all this shit, right? Yeah. So that was the next hustle. So the Spanish guys had the heroin. They'd get picked up and boof that. That was their thing.
Yeah.
I brought back like seasonings and dumb shit. Now I had developed a good relationship with this cop. He was a good dude. He's retired now. But I was his A-man. So I was in the front seat. So he's like, he know I say this shit. But, so when they strip you, I just leave, so they all work. Like I said, they're humans. Dude. They know, so
he also knew too, like, I won't have a problem with this guy.
Right.
And listen, and if something went down, he was like, and it's not bad to be, friends with the big guy.
Yeah. No, and so he was his name was John. He's a great dude. Like I took him to dinner when I came home.
Nice. See, I love that. I love hearing like you're not afraid to give back.
No. Listen, my parole officer,
Yeah.
went and worked at my real estate office.
Fuck yeah,
when he
dude.
retired.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
love
Like,
that.
and I talk to him every once a month.
Yeah, nice.
And he's just a maniac.
Yeah,
I'm getting on Ian's show
nice.
to talk about like a pro officer. Like, listen,
I love one of the episodes Ian had was with Purcell, Steve Purcell, the CO, right?
Yeah.
He was like a CO of a Max. Dude, I love that. Like, just hearing it's cool. Like, it's a different side of the world.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, so the pro officer, my pro officer, he was a bartender.
Oh,
and somebody
nice.
said, go take the test for the state. You know, this was back. He took it. He didn't want to do that
No,
shit. But, you know,
no.
listen.
But you
and
got to
he's
make the money.
And you got to make the money. You got married.
You got family.
Yep.
Yeah. So, okay. So you're in your man, you're doing your thing, and then you eventually.
So from there, I know. So I'm 4 years. I'm 4 years in. So I'm 12 months away from my first eligibility date.
Okay.
So that makes me eligible for the halfway house.
Okay. Nice.
So listen, who the fuck don't want to go halfway house? I mean, a lot of them didn't. A lot of them like, I'm just maxed out. It's like, if I don't, one day less than this motherfucker, I'm out.
Yeah.
So that was always my entire like,
yeah.
You know, and I understand why they would want to max out because it's tough on, especially. I don't do drugs, I don't drink.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives me a much clearer view of things.
Yeah.
You know, because listen, drinking, I make bad decisions sober.
Sure.
I'd have 97 kids, and I've been married 19 times by now. You know, I got 4 kids and never married.
Yeah.
But so I didn't have a problem. So I'm eligible. So they let me go.
Nice.
To the halfway house.
Right.
So I go to the halfway house and they send me to Kintock in Bridgeton.
Okay.
Which is right in my neighborhood.
Okay.
I get a job. The halfway house is stressful.
All right.
Because now you're leaving every day. You got to take the bus. You got to check in every hour. If you forget, you're like, well, once you get that little taste of freedom, now you don't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
Because you go back to jail.
Yeah.
Also, I have a pro hearing in 6 months. So 6 months before a 5-year max, I have a pro hearing.
Yeah.
And
you're doing it like you're the Boy Scout. You're doing like
never got in trouble. I got never provable any trouble.
Yeah.
So nothing was ever written up like my file's probably that thick.
Yeah.
But it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and it was like the whole gimmick with the teacher, like that all went away.
I mean, you know, they couldn't prove anything.
Yeah. If anything, they got you for it by the 71 days, 72 days.
72 days. Yeah. It was brutal.
You did your time for that.
But
yo, can I ask you? I mean, I know you're in prison, but ain't no piece of pussy worth 72 days.
And the thing is, it didn't. What they had wasn't right anyhow. So if I did or I didn't do it, it doesn't matter because they just tell.
Yeah.
But no, listen. I tell people that all the time. Make the money. The pussy can come. I'd rather jerk off on $100 bill.
Dude.
At the end of the day, you know, like listen. And that's just my thing. Like I said, it's too easy anymore. You know, like it's not. I'm not about that. Like I don't even care about that shit anymore. Like let's take the world over.
Yeah, dude.
You
know, you're at the age where it's like, we've had that fun.
I've had you know, and I keep talking about Max, but my Stacia's always like, you did this. I said, Stacia, I don't do that anymore. Like I don't care about that shit anymore. Like I don't.
Yeah,
dude. But they can't get over. You know,
I'll tell you. And the best piece of pussy ain't never like not telling you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
100%.
They weren't like they weren't no rat on the way out.
No,
yeah.
It's just, you know, and like so 72 days in lockup was probably the worst like overall experience because there was nothing like I think around day 60 I started talking to the toilet. Like just because I needed some feedback. And I counted all the things. So I'm not a religious guy, and people. I have nothing against religion. I'm just not a religious guy.
Right.
So they had a Bible in there. Well, I couldn't get past it. I'm a show me guy more than, I believe everybody's believing something. I believe in me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I said I can't use that. I can't even like read the Bible. Like I was going to force. I was like,
you're losing it. Yeah, you're losing.
I'm losing it. So that was. There's no. I don't care if it was a select. No. There's nothing.
Yeah, ain't nothing with that.
No.
So, okay, so I interrupted there. So you're at the Mint. And you're 6 months away, so you're just good behavior, or you're at the halfway house.
I'm at the halfway house. So
6 months away.
Well, right. I have 12 months at the halfway house until my date comes up for my first eligibility date.
Okay.
So they start you off for the first 2 weeks. You do like, job, but I had a job lined up. Okay, so I had enough people in town to give me a job.
Yeah.
So I have a job. I'm taking a bus there.
Are you able to see your kids or anything? Or
they can stop by. Like I'm on the street. Yeah. But after the first 3 months, you start staying doing one night's home.
Oh, nice.
So I got to stay at night home. So again, this is stress because you don't want to lose that. Once you get that, listen, you're home.
Yeah.
You're getting laid.
Yeah.
You're eating real food.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that's the thing you don't want to lose. So first 6 months, so a week before my first pro hearing, I'm a little stressed, and I don't get stressed easy. But I'm like, because you hear the stories, but you don't ever hear the whole story.
Yeah.
So you hear the story like, you know, you get a hit. So you're only allowed in the halfway house 18 months max.
Okay.
So if you get a hit, especially so with a 20-year sentence, my max on that was 13 years, 8 months.
Yeah.
I got 5. So I have an 8.5 year in between
Yeah.
that I might not come home for.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck, you know, so I'm working, I'm going back, I'm checking in, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to.
Yes.
I have a psychiatrist that so you start getting interviewed to make sure you get on the street. Of course, you know, they'll make sure you're not, you know.
Right.
So when I first went to Trenton at reception, I had a psych interview.
Okay.
And we got along well.
Right.
She told me she hated me, we got along well.
Right.
You know, so I see her now from the halfway house getting ready for parole. Now she carries a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I had this stupid ass smile.
Right.
And like, she hates me. I walk in, I said, she's like, I hate you. As a matter of fact. I was like, and she's like, you know, because we did.
She hates you because she likes you so much.
Exactly. And she's like, you could have done anything you wanted. You're selling drugs. I'm like, fuck him. Yes, mother. You know,
yeah.
But by the end of the conversation, I'm telling her how to make money in real estate.
Yes.
So now, like, I got you.
Yeah.
So I know she's gonna write me a good report. I'm hoping she writes me a good report.
Right. Yeah.
So I see her. They take you from the halfway house. I take off work today, and I go to the Southwoods where they wouldn't let me in, and I'm in a gymnasium with 20 guys.
Yeah.
And there's a Spanish lady and 2 old white guys as parole officers, as the board.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, listen, I'm a good talker. Like, I got it.
Right.
You know. But then I'm like, you see guys coming out crying.
Dude.
Now the thing is, I'm 6 months.
Really?
I'm 6 months
Like
from my
guys
date.
come out crying.
Oh yeah, because they're getting 5-year hits.
Oh
So they're leaving the halfway house and going back to prison, starting all over again because all your stuff is gone.
Why did they? I mean, like, but like
They just weren't, you know, like,
they
so their
just
first
weren't.
eligibility, you know, these guys are getting 5-year hits. So I'm like, I go and I'm like, I'm watching these guys come out like, oof. So I'm a little sick to my stomach now in the gym, right?
Yeah.
So I walk in, and I know what you're supposed to say.
Yeah.
So if you interview me, I'll tell you exactly what you want to hear. I know what's right, what's wrong. I know the difference between right and wrong. I might not do it all the time, but I know the difference.
Right.
So I sit down, and you know, they're talking to me, and you know, she's reading a great psych report for everything, and they say, "Well, what do you want to do?" I said, "Well, you know, I'm going to get into real estate."
Yeah.
And they're looking like, "What are you going to do?" I said, "Well, I'm going to sell real estate, get my real estate license back, and you know, buy and sell." And he's like, "Why?" I said, "Well, I like making a deal."
Yeah.
Well, as soon as I said that, I usually think five sentences ahead. I'm like, I just fucked myself because they're going to think,
deal. He wants to deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they tell me leave. I come back in, and he's like, "So we're a little concerned about your occupation." I was like, "No, you shouldn't be. That's no big deal. Like the whole thing,
Yeah.
But I had said the same thing to psych. That's why they asked me. So I told psych I want to do it. Her concern was me. So she wrote down a report, which they didn't tell me in the report. So listen, I told him exactly. I said, I don't mean that. Listen, I want people to get their own house they like. I can good at what I do. He said, "You're going home." So now I feel good, but I can't tell anybody.
Yeah.
I want to go home and call my people. Like, I want to call my mom first. Like, before anybody, mom, because listen, mom was probably most worried about me.
Dude,
because Rick knows though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be all right. Mom.
You're her boy.
I'm like, So, but I can't tell anybody else because they mess it up.
Yeah.
And so I get back to the halfway house, call mom, man. She's all excited, but now I'm stressed out.
Yeah.
That last 6 months was the worst.
Because you're like, if anything,
and then that, because listen, if you get sent back, now you have a charge. So now you got to go back in front of the parole board. So that was probably the most stressful of the whole 5 years. That last 6 months was probably, I don't think I slept. And every time the bus would come, I was just counting, like, hurry up, bus get here.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to leave. If I could have just sat in the bunk, I would have. I would have lost my mind. But I mean, that's the thing. Yeah. So,
damn, dude, that's tough. So, okay. But then, all right. So you do it. You eventually get out, right? And then, so that was what, like 2009, 2010? I
came home in 2010.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're back 2010. Dude, that's what, it's 13 years ago now. Your life has just completely.
Well, I got in trouble in 2004, went to prison in 2005.
Yeah.
So it was 6 years from when it happened.
Okay.
I got 6 years already gone.
Okay.
So it's 6 years altogether from the day I got raided. It was 6 years in a day or a couple of days from when I got raided when I came home.
Okay. Nice. All right. So then you come home, you're back, and like, like you said, you get into real estate.
Yeah.
Right?
So at the halfway house, so what happened? How I really got back? I mean, I worked in a real estate office at the halfway house.
Yeah.
I couldn't work for Michelle, who owned one, because at that time,
because she was like your former, like,
right.
and no other, like, yeah, because it would have been, I forget what it's called, but like you can't go with, yeah.
So I went and worked for another. So I was already in the real estate game. So I call Michelle from the halfway house. And I was like, yo, I want a one of those iPod.
Okay.
Back in the day with the iPads. So I said, yo, I want an iPod. She's like, you ready to marry a fat chick? I was like, yeah, let's do it. So she bought. So I come home, and as soon as I got home, they called to make sure that I could talk to Michelle.
Okay.
Because of the no contact. I'm still on parole.
Yeah.
So I don't fucking anything parole.
Right. Yeah.
And it goes through legal, and then I finally get a written letter from parole saying it's okay.
All right. Nice.
So Michelle was there from day one. Like, we went to get my real estate license twice.
Yeah.
I passed the test both times right away, and they denied it at the meeting, which is, but
just
she was
to be dicks.
Just to be dicks.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm still buying now. Now I'm buying rentals and flipping houses. So I don't need a real estate license.
But you were doing it under someone else's name.
No, I was doing it myself. Okay. Just you don't need a license to do that. So I can't get my real estate license to sell you a house.
Yeah.
But I do my own thing.
Yeah, nice.
So that's how that kind of kicked off. I got as soon as I got home, I was doing.
Dude, I love.
I was moving.
I love to like because when you were in the game, you would clean your money somewhat through a detailing business.
Yeah, detail shop
called Clean Getaway.
Clean Getaway.
Love that. Whose idea was that? Your idea?
Yeah. Same thing as flipping keys.
Dude, I was just gonna say. So now the real estate business, flipping keys.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy gets it. You know what I mean?
How much better you see the prosecutor looking at my thing? It was with big flipping keys.
Dude, I was like, oh, this is so great. So nice. So like we said, we're going to have a link in the description of this episode to Flipping Keys, to Devin's Instagram at DReilly32. And like, man, I'll tell you, we are coming to the top of time, but Devin, thank you so much for being here, dude.
Appreciate it.
Of course, man. Of course, brother. Usually we're on the same page with this, but I'd love to have you back on the show one day.
Let me know. Give me a shout.
Awesome, man. And so we're coming towards top time. Is there anything you want to say to the Devin Reilly Maniacs before we get out of here?
Listen, jail sucks. Do the right thing. There's a lot of money out there. We can make it we can make it right. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
You don't have to make money doing breaking the law.
The drug game it's not like it used to be at all. Like, there's too much money. If you hustle, you can make it. And tomorrow's another day. So today may be real bad. Yeah. Tomorrow's always better.
Make the money the legal way. You'll be surprised how much you can make.
You gotta starve.
Yeah.
You're gonna starve, but at the end of the day, it's worth it.
Yeah. You're gonna get my dad always had a saying, everyone wants to go to heaven, but no one wants to go through hell to get there.
Exactly.
So that's what you just got to do.
Be comfortable being uncomfortable. Yeah. That's what it comes down to.
Amen. You got to eat a little bit of crow, and then once you find your niche,
you're done. Yep.
Done. Nice. All right. Well, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, come today by the one and only Devin Reilly. In case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can also on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspectives@gmail.com. Thanks for listening and have a good week. Thanks.
Have a great day.
Awesome. Dude, fucking awesome. You're the fucking best. What a show. Dude, that was so much fun, man. You absolutely killed it, brother. You killed it.